Let's start recording. Watch what you say. They hit record. Jackie, they hit record. Jackie,
Yes, sir. Yes, you just need to hit record.
I don't see record right now. Just a second.
There it is.
It's
underneath that one.
I can't see it, Jason. You wanna come over here?
Move your.
How did I move this down? I did something.
And left.
There, okay, now I can move on. Okay. Perfect. Record. Yeah, there we go.
And then you can bring us back up.
Okay, back to it. Okay. Everybody ready? Sonia, summary, everybody start. Okay. Commissioners Court will come in order. If everybody please rise for the pledge of allegiance, followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Commissioner Williams, will you please lead us into prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have granted us. Father, be with us as we do the business of the court of Mills County. Guide us and direct us in all our actions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, good morning, everybody. We got a full plate today. County Attorney Hale's not gonna be able to make it this morning. And we'll start off number 2, review and act on minutes of July 24th. Commissioners, if you look in your packet there, you'll see the minutes from July 24th. And I had one small correction. Sonia, on page 14, very, very simple, where it says county, this is on the, yeah, number 14 on the last page, where it says county judge report, it should be Encore and Sherryland litigation.
Okay.
And the one that I want to correct is on the first page. Agenda item number 4. I think it's the 4th sentence. It says need more documentation. And then I was under the standing that it says is the chief deputy authorized. There's a question, not a.
Okay, I'll get those things.
Okay. Commissioners, any other comments, questions, changes for the minutes of July 24th?
Here and then I make a motion that we approve the minutes of July the 24th as correctly and written.
Okay, Commissioner Williams has made a motion to approve the minutes of July 24th. Second has been made by Commissioner Wright. Any other comments or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes of July 24th say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, ayes have it. Number 3, audience with individuals. Okay, and folks, when you come up, I would ask for you to come up to the microphone here. You can go up or down with it to speak. This is the way I received these. We'll go in this order. First is Mr. Jim Johnson from Mullen.
This is an agenda item.
Well, yours is an agenda item, right? You want to talk about the doors and stuff, right? Yeah, well, we'll just wait till you get to yours. We got an agenda item for the courthouse doors. Okay. James Miller. Good morning, Mr. Miller. Come on up here and talk to us. We're going to talk about the budget.
Okay, I'm retired county employee. There's several of us here today who are retired employees. I don't know sure how many retired employees the county had. I'm under a dozen more. But it's been several years since the retired employees have received a raise. And then 20 years ago, we gave them a little bit of it, but I've been retired 4 years and haven't got an increase. And we just here today to ask that y'all consider to please give us some kind of a raise in our retirement salary. Not asking for a whole lot, but anything we get. So ask that y'all consider that. 7% maybe a deal. You know what I'm saying? We just ask that y'all consider that for us, please.
Okay, James, thanks for coming and speaking. Former Commissioner John Mann. Good morning, Mr. Mann.
Morning.
Come on up here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're here, we're not just playing games, brother. We need a kind of a retired individual, you know, just let everybody know that we need it, everything's expenses are way up. Everything goes up, why, I mean, it just double. We need something to, if we get some help, it's really appreciated. That's what I have. Appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mann. Thanks for coming up and talking to us. Next, we have Mr. Dwayne Rawson. Come up here, Mr. Rawson. Good morning.
Good morning, my name's Wayne Rawson. 2 weeks ago, I had this happen. I had a lady called me, her husband had passed away. And she wanted to know if he had any burial benefits. I told her roughly, what any visitor should tell is that if he's already discharged, first of all, guaranteed he should have a flag at his coffin. She said he would be cremated. I said, he's still kind of like, anyway, I told her I wasn't a VSO, gave Craig Wright's phone number. I checked back with her on Thursday. She said that he told her that he didn't have anything, which is the wrong answer. Her husband just passed away. You don't tell a deceased widow that he has no parents. Anyway, long story short, in 10 minutes, I told her how she could get the flag from her. Death certificate, a T-214. The funeral that was handling her husband's remains, all she needed to do is go there. She called me back. I'm not, the director and I had a discussion. He wanted to set up a private meeting. Well, my experience with this commissioner's court, I decided to come here. Anyway, she texted me back and said she would get a flag. And her main thing was, she just wanted a flag for her grandchildren to show he was in the military. Our VSO, and it's amazing, the retirees here were talking about pay raise. Since 2019, our VSO received over $1,200 in a pay increase. And he's due to get another 240 months in this budget if it's passed. We have veterans going to Abilene, San Saba, because they're not getting support from our VSO here. Now, this gentleman is getting, like I said, if this budget passed, over $1,400 in a part-time job. Why are our veterans having to go to other counties to get their benefits because they're not getting support from the VSO here, sirs? There's something wrong here. I was a veteran service officer. And I didn't get nowhere near as much as this VSO is getting. Why are our veterans having to go other counties to get their benefits and their rightly deserved? And if these retirees aren't getting pay raise, why is this VSO getting so much for a part-time job? And these people have done over 20 years. You do need to adjust the retirement rates. God bless you. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you for coming. That takes care of the audience individuals. Moving on, we got number 4, accounts, considering act on approving accounts payable. And I think we're also going to tie in number 6, which is consider an act on estray policies and procedures up. Who wants to get this? This is in regards to 2 weeks ago, last week we had a commissioner's court meeting regarding a estray policy with Mr. Mike Williams on getting them paid. And I think the main question was on the commissioner's court was why did it take so long to get an invoice? Sheriff Hammonds is here today to let us know. I personally am all in favor of getting Mike Williams paid. I think most of the court was too, but I think there's just more information needed on what all happened on the transaction and everything.
And I told the court that I'd reach out to Mike Williams. I did the very next day and talked to Mike, and He explained that what happened in the situation. And he sold them back in March, and so, he didn't know about the bills. He just started calling in May, June, and some in July, and we, of course, received it in July, so. But this is the bill that he turned in, and the cattle were sold, I'll get it out, at Jordan's. So is there any
Okay.
other questions that the court had?
Where does that money go once the livestock sold away?
It goes into the straight account.
Sheriff Hammond, you want to come up,
Well, I
please?
asked you, where does it go?
There's a revenue fund on page 1 of the budget that says it's straight, that's what it is.
Let's go to the jury pool. Once there's been a claim past that. But any sheriff or his designee, which we appoint Mr. Williams to be the designee at this point, because we already have a draft on the property. It's something we've done in the past, probably do it again in the future. This is the second time, I think August of last year, there's straight from the same piece of property that Mr. Williams called him. And we don't invoice except to the person that's been designated to traffic and all of the sales, so. After talking to him, I guess he mailed it, I don't know what point he mailed it. And then, I don't know why it took so long, honestly. But I don't know when he mailed it, he couldn't remember,
Do you know what's in your office?
he couldn't tell me that.
I think the biggest thing on that was, if you look at the strays policy, they're supposed to be posted for two weeks in either the paper or the deal. And then they're supposed to be sold, not nearly 3 months of storage on them,
Right.
you know, and then
But,
another 3 months to get it.
But,
In there,
Yeah, and talking to Calvary, there's one thing we didn't write ever, which maybe it wouldn't get like ever, you know. Mr. Horse, which is normally the one we use, is out of town, so.
well, now he told me he went and rode the pasture.
Oh, he was around.
I called him because of the. Where, I mean, Comanche County is a different deal. Everything up there goes to the auction barn. They're housed there for 2 weeks. On the 3rd week they sell, but they have an auction barn.
Right.
I don't know if Mike Williams called him or who, but they went and rode the pasture. They found nothing. And he said, we didn't charge them anything because we didn't find much. And then maybe when Mike found them or was gonna move his cattle, then they were there, you know, so.
Right.
But they're
And
supposed,
I'll touch base with him again, and find out, because he never mentioned that to me on the call.
but they're supposed to be also fully documented, any air tags, markings. We were told a bull and a cow, which the money from the auction barn, unless they were pretty shabby, didn't add up to that. And he said that they went down there looking for a couple of yearlings. So yearlings, cow and bull, kind of a different deal.
Well, I just think, I got.
And
So
I-
we're actually talking about the bill
Yeah,
itself,
I know.
right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well, I said, let's do it all
Yeah.
together.
I don't, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the process is, but it was stamped, I got a stamp on mine that said March the 17th that it was received in the clerk's office. Now, I don't know how that, what that stamp,
Do that, the date of sale was in February,
data sale was in March,
March 8th.
or was it March,
March the 8th,
or no, we picked it up, or
and it
it was trapped in February, I believe.
tracked in January.
Yeah.
But actually, when you talk to Mike, he actually had them in December, so, but it didn't go to your office till January.
He didn't call.
Yeah.
Still did.
He was going on vacation and stuff like that, is what he told me, so, but. My research that I talked to Mike, he is due the money is in the account, we have the money earmarked. Now, the policy or the direction may have been wrong, but. I think I'm gonna make a motion that we approve the accounts payables to $1,295 to Mike Williams for this stray.
Okay,
I'll second.
A motion's been made by Commissioner Williams, a second's been made by Commissioner Parton to approve the $1,200 and something to Mike Williams. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor of approving the $1,200 and something to Mike Williams, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. And that, Prue, I think we got the stray policies already in place. I just think we just need to make sure we always follow the policies. Yes.
I would disagree with that. We have 3 places on our website as a county where you can post notice of a stray. So there's some confusion as to where you're gonna go look. The clerk records the estray, the sheriff puts it on the glass. We put it in our record of estray, and we have an estray place on the clerk's website that we posted, and when the posting time is over, we remove it. There's also a notice of estray on the quick links on the homepage, and there's a notice of estray on the sheriff's website. I think that you are confusing people by giving them too many places to look for this documentation.
Unless you put it on all
Unless you put it on all of them. You either need one or you need it on all, so it's consistent.
I think it needs to be in the paper.
That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, I think that's the best place most people would find it.
Because there's so many people, maybe older people, that might not look at this computer stuff at all.
Are we going to remove the places where it can be posted on the websites?
Well, we'll discuss that here. Commissioners,
That has to be on the agenda.
It is.
Well,
it was on the agenda here, number 6.
Once we decide paper, website or whatever, there has to be a motion to do that. Is that
Yes.
not correct?
Yeah.
But it's actually under the direction of the sheriff and the agricultural code, so I informed in the email that we are gonna put it in the paper from here on out. I mean, there's not really a policy or procedure in doing it.
Okay,
Because it's the statute that is not there since 1995.
And I'm gonna follow up with what the sheriff says, if y'all haven't looked up the stray agriculture code, it lays down exactly what the sheriff's department's supposed to do. Line item by line item, except for where it's supposed to be posted, it just says posted, am I correct?
Well, you got 2 options, you have a newspaper or circulation or county website.
That's correct, that's what it said, yeah, so, yeah.
And like I said, we'll just go to the newspaper portion of that. At the end of the day, you know, it's our responsibility, it's not the court's responsibility, so we'll take the hit, you know.
okay. Sonia, anything else we need to discuss on this thing?
So do you want the notice of estray removed from the website if we're not gonna be posting there?
Commissioners?
I don't see a problem. It's gonna be posted in the paper.
So we'll remove it?
Remove it.
Do we need to vote on that or anything?
I don't think that.
No, we'd have to, I don't
That's not anything that's required by law.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever required anything to be motion wise to be added to
Okay,
that, so let's just remove it, I mean.
Yeah.
We can let the IT department know and make sure that's removed.
okay. All right, anything else we need to consider? We've already approved the accounts payable for Mike Williams. We discussed consider and act on stray policies and procedures. Anything else on this matter, gentlemen?
No,
Okay.
answer there.
Okay, here now, we're gonna go back up now to number 5, budget workshop coming up next. Mr. Former Judge Ed Smith has signed up. Mr. Smith, would you like to come speak to us? Good morning, Mr. Smith. Thank you for coming today.
Good one. And I hate to get up this early.
I just, it kicked off the budget discussions, I just wanted to add my 2 cents, and I think this is the most important thing, that the judge does every year, in my opinion, is as the budget office for the county and proposing a budget and shepherding something to get final approval. It seems the most important thing the court's gonna be, even in my opinion, this is the court's primary administrative control over operations. Yeah, and finally, it's the most important thing, I believe, to the citizen taxpayers in the county, because the end result of this is every part of the tax rate. That being said, I think, you have to take this in bite-sized sections in your agendas. You're looking at different pieces of it over the next few weeks. But it's important to consider, start with somewhere in the big picture. What's the revenue? What are the expenses? What are the implications of the tax rate? What are the major projects? What are the staffing levels? If you just get down in the trees, look at it, posted in this department, and telephone in that department, that's important. But you can miss the big picture, and the big picture is what ends up causing the tax rate. And in that regard, on page 14 of this massive budget package, you can see on the general fund, there's the forecast of a $600,000 surplus. That's just for this year's proposal. That by my math, about 7 cents of property taxes. So just that an example of trying to look at the big picture. And as you go into the special use club today, want to remind you there's another important piece, and I don't think it's in the budget package, and that is the fund balance. So if there's a fund balance already at 50,000 and it's got income of 10, and they're going to spend 20, it's a yes, it's a deficit, but it's pulling down the fund balance that's been accumulated in prior years. At the same time, you know, you look at it the other way. It's important to consider the fund balance as you look at special use clause. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Judge Smith. We appreciate your help, comments and everything. And we will, I'm going to read, we're going to go into budget workshop now. The time is now 9:21 a.m. Of course, we're not voting on anything. This is again a budget workshop, proposed budget workshop. So for 23 and 2024. So
There needs to be a motion, right?
It does.
Okay, Jill.
Still needs a
Is that
motion? Pardon?
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we go in budget workshop.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion by me, a second by Commissioner Williams to go in budget workshop. Commissioners, any other comments, discussion? All those in favor of going budget workshop, say aye. Aye. Okay. So now we're in budget workshop. It's 9:22 a.m. So I want to read a prepared statement. This is a preliminary starting budget for our new fiscal year that will start on October 1st. This budget workshop contains all the departments, community, judicial, special use funds, our commissioners court oversee. Many changes can and will be made to this proposed budget. Our schedule is to meet each Monday for the next 3 weeks while we work on this proposed budget. Many of these calculations that the commissioners court have been given are based on using last year's tax rate. I and Ms. Summer Campbell have met with all the elected officials and many of the groups that we help fund. Many of the figures that we're proposing are extrapolated from last year's budget, along with proposed cost increases, inflation, population increases for Mills County, et cetera. It is difficult in some categories trying to figure out future costs. For example, what will the fuel cost be in the summer of 2024? Good question. Average cost inflation for 2022 is around 8%. For 23 and 24, there are numerous figures which reflect the cost of living and inflation are predicted to be from 4 to 7%. Our proposed budget has increases in numerous categories along with a 3% pay increase for all employees. I've also encouraged all commissioners to increase their budgets for county road-based material. With this increase in population, we're having more folks driving on our county roads, and all of our commissioners have been extremely busy taking care of our roads. Of course, with this current dry weather conditions we're experiencing, it's difficult to do much road grading, right, Commissioner Wright?
That's good.
Regarding county employees, we've had some leave for better pay, and we've also had some difficulty in filling a few positions. I've said this before, we have some of the best professional county employees anywhere around. They're extremely dedicated, taking care of our county's business. I want to thank all of them for their service. One item that's been a great benefit to our county is the wind turbines. We do have a sizable amount of money coming in from the wind turbines, which have been a tremendous financial help for Mills County. Charles Miles will have more details regarding the wind turbines here in a minute. Financially, our county is in good shape. This proposed budget has also been a team effort. I want to personally thank Charles Miles for his help and valuable insight. Charles has been working with the county budget off and on since the 1970s. I also want to thank former Judge Ed Smith for his knowledge and his consultation with us. And of course, our county treasurer, Summer Campbell, for all her many hours of work on this 2023 and 24 budget. So thanks to all of you. So commissioners, I'll start this budget process off with a report from Charles Miles, follow up by any questions or comments that you might have for him. So Charles, you're going to come up here. I'll turn it over to you, or from there, we can hear you better on the microphone here. We can hear you on the microphone better for YouTube and everything, if you can make it up. Okay. Okay,
Starting place and thing. You all should all have a copy of it, but the 3-page report. Recap that I. You all have a copy of that report.
A recap? Yes.
yes, sir, right here.
Yeah. All right, good recap.
This recap right here.
Thank you.
Page 1 of the recap. It has the actual numbers for the 21-22 column year. In column 1. The second column is the budget. 22-23. And the third column is estimated. I projected out what I thought it would be actual for the end of this current budget year. And the fourth column right now is blank except for totals. And we'll fill that in when you get it. Total receipts, less transfer down there, net receipts for 21-22 was $5,792,000. The budget for 22-23 was $7,437,000. My projections on the revenue were $7,153,000. And just for your information on the projected budget for 23-24, the net receipts after transfers were $7,286,367. The net disbursements for 21-22 was $5,445,000. So the actual budget surplus for during the September 30th of 22 was $347,000. The budget for 22-23 shows the projected budget and surplus like here $158,202.99. Based on our projections, the budget surplus will be $650,654.72. And on the budget, proposed budget, we're starting out with $40,426.63. That's before any adjustments that are made, and I think some are already made adjustments to make it 5,000. That is not reflected in that budget. So page 2 of this is a recap of the disbursement not money. And I've already used the totals on the front page. And on page 3 is the schedule that Ed kind of referred to in the general fund. This is the budget surplus by fund. So at the end of September 30th of 22, total fund balance was $4,380,808.43. That does not include the debt service fund, which is $21,178.61. The budgeted ending fund balance was $4,539,000. Estimated is $5,031,000 for the Chevy. So like Judge Johnson said, you're good financial. The other page that I gave you is the tax rate. Judge Johnson asked me to compute what the taxes would be based on the last year's tax rate. Last year's tax rate is 60.61. And in this budget, you're looking at interest and savings fund. It'd be 5.89% of the rate, 5.89%. The general fund, maintenance and operating, 4,505, road bridge special 9.67, which equals that 6.60. The numbers below that, there's the 2023 revenue tax rate. You notice the interest sinking is 5.926. The general fund is 63,127. Road and bridge special 12,809. So the prior year rate is substantially lower than the million revenue. Right. And then there's the third rate, is the lower approved rates. Again, if you look under the general column, that's 7,900. Going forward, and the road and bridge special is 14,593. So the rest column looks better in this proposed budget, substantially less than those two figures. The next line under taxes, likely, use last year's rate. The total taxes are set, and interest and thinking will be 487,842.33. On the general and road and bridge special will be 4,532,1259. The last few years, the budget, I believe, is 99.5% collection rate, which is really good, really high. So that gives you 485,412. In the general fund, 3,712,633.34. And the road and bridge special is 796,918.19. And then the next line is what was in the last year's budget. If you look, the interest and savings stated out this money, because it has to, we put enough money in there in the service today. If you look under the general fund, using last year's rate. Last year collected 4,536,000. This year we're going to collect 3,712,000. So that's 824,192.66 less than the property taxes. And I'll tell you the reason for that. And the road and bridge special is 157,000 less than property tax. Which means that the total decrease in property tax to 9,981,536. The reason it's down is because two of the wind turbine projects are under the pilot program. And if you go look at the proposed budget.
You got too many papers there, Charles. Too many papers.
Too much paper. If you look at page 1 of the budget. Last year, this is the same numbers. The final amended budget for last year, line on property tax, were more 4,536,000 in the general fund. This year, we're proposing 3,712,000. If you go down to pilot leads revenue, last year was 0. This year it's 1,117,000. So if you take that pilot revenue and add it to the property tax revenue, then you get the total revenue actually went up. If you add those together. And that's one of the reasons. In Judge Smith's presentation, he said the general fund has a huge surplus. Well, I put all of it, or I had someone put all of the pilot money into the general fund. The road and bridge special got decreased by 158,000. So the transfer from the precinct. So if you run the numbers right now, the amount going into the precincts is a lot less. Each of the precincts operate at a deficit because we reduce the revenue line for expected. In this budget process, we will have to calculate it out to transfer from the general fund to the precincts. Or if you wanted to, you could put part of that pot of money in the special and either transfer it from there. It all works out this way. So I think it would be easier if we have a major revenue going to the general fund and then transferring it out to the precincts because they're going to be short of money. But that's going to be the main reason, one of the reasons that the general fund has such a big surplus on that.
Okay,
Overall, with the money in there, the tax revenue based on last year's tax rate. And all the budget requests that are included in the budget, you're looking at about $36,000, I think. Yeah.
That's- Okay, that's minus what Summers just added. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, she had 5,000 to one.
And the district court, Mike Smith needed more money because they're increasing the fees for, CPS court and each attorney. But I have not put in any transfer to the general fund to precincts, because I don't know what that'll be yet.
Those numbers will be all out of.
That's what I was gonna say. We do that toward the end whenever it gets there and
Otherwise, we're gonna be redoing the budget every other day, every transfer. Every time y'all change one, y'all believe it's, those transfer change, so it'd be easier to make those transfers and figure out the budget. Surplus in each individual fund towards the end, still trying to do this.
okay.
That's what I've got.
And Charles, you might have mentioned just a little bit about the wind turbines. You talked about the pilot program. Total funds coming in from all the wind turbines, I think is around a little over, you said 2 million, correct?
1.17.
1.17. Okay, excuse me.
That's the pilot.
Pilot, just the pilot program.
Part of some of these wind turbine projects are actually paying tax at property tax.
Yeah,
And property taxes from the wind turbine projects is $987,000. Based on last year's tax.
okay,
So total. The wind turbine projects we be paying the pilot payments or taxes would be $2,157,000.
okay,
Which is approximately 35% of the tax and pilot payments.
okay. Okay, anything else from you, Charles, and right now? Charles, any other comments? No, for pretty well recap. Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Miles?
I have none President.
President, yeah, well, plenty later, all through this workshop. Anyone else?
I don't know if this is a Charles or your question on the sheet that y'all presented us was the tax calculation worksheet. From the comptroller's public office. I
You're
guess.
talking about this blue and white sheet?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Charles, a tax rate calculation worksheet, which has a road and bridge and the other part on it.
Okay, so. This is the. Who did this worksheet? Did we do this or did the appraisal district do this? Appraisal district. So this is where the appraisal, where you got your numbers for the appraisals going down. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Okay,
The only question I got on that same tax rate calculation sheet that he's talking about. It said adjusted taxable value, the two numbers that keep coming up through this thing is 985,767,191. And then back, it's not numbered. But the other numbers that keep coming up is 828,337. So is that,
So one is last year's, is what I'm looking at, one is.
one is last year's and one is
This year's.
okay, so you got that 1.2.
And the difference, explain the difference, Charles.
The reason it went down is because that one wind project went into the pilot program, came off the tax rolls, went into the pilot program.
Okay.
So, I mean, that, take that out, and probably they actually did go up like 78.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's
one
what,
question, Charles.
For now.
yeah. Anything else, gentlemen? And again, I know Charles, you have to leave later for an appointment. We'll go through the courthouse budget then. And if commissioners, y'all turn to what, page 2? We will go through this and Summer, I know you'll be looking over me if I miss a page or something. So we'll start on the courthouse budget, page 2, the county judge expense. Well, page 1. Okay, while Charles here. So page 1, commissioners, general fund revenues. You can see all the different offices, and then again, these, numbers are somewhat difficult to extrapolate, but we tried to do the best we could with last year's figures. There's a good many items through here. Anything y'all have questions about?
So on the grant revenue. My only question on there, do we need to add something for Senate Bill 22 somewhere or no? Or do we wait?
Something, well, there are, if you've read things, Bill 22, there's all these requirements that you have to meet before you can apply for that grant. So you've got to decide whether you want to trigger those things and take a risk, because right now, I think on Friday, they don't have the rules set, so you don't know what the rules are, you just know. You're basically inflating that budget by $250,000, so you don't know if you're actually going to get that money. And when, and what rules apply to it yet, so. To me, that would be grant revenue in the sheriff's department if we decide to trigger that.
Okay.
Not anything on the. Now, there's other grants that you don't know about that y'all want to go out and get, and that's where it's.
That's the only one that was stuck in my mind. I didn't know.
And then at a later date, we do find a grant that we want to do, we do the budget.
Budget amendments to that. Okay.
Do we put all grants in here? I mean, any type of grant that goes in this? I mean,
Necessarily, sometimes a grant go to the sheriff's department, sometimes we build a own fund for a grant.
okay,
Just depends on what it is.
okay.
On 0801 on that interest income. Has the interest made that much difference in this past year?
Yeah.
Well, if you see the actual of what I've accumulated through June is 136,000. I'm being conservative at 50. I think I'll still get the 20,000 a month. I can increase it if you want to increase it. I'm just being conservative so we don't overinflate revenue.
But that as opposed to 20 and 21
What-
is a lot of 2020 and 21 on the same line item.
Yeah, that's just because we went with that investment, the investment committee just went really, textbook and all that, and with the tax rates that changed to the federal government, it was able to benefit our monies.
Yeah, if the banks are making like 27%, in tax school, are making 5.34.
Big difference.
It's no brainer to do right now.
Yeah.
Initially, we'll probably have that done, go back over to the bank and buy CDs. That's what has been previously done. I've just started investing. All of our investment money, plus I feed the general fund in there and 6-7 makes money until we need it, and then I move it back into the fund to spend it, so that's how I'm making it.
The only other one I have is 600 miscellaneous income.
So last year, we were planning on selling the EMS building. That's where that line is gonna go into instead of building its own line. We
And it
do
didn't
that.
happen.
So we're bringing it back down.
Which of course we're keeping, yes.
That's all the questions.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions on general fund revenues? Summary, anything else you need to point out to us? Okay, moving on to page 2, county judge expense. I had increase on schools and training. There wasn't much difference in most of the other part of it. Some equipment, Jackie's gonna try to get a new, we need a new scanner for Jackie. Jackie will like hearing that. She goes to the county clerk's office daily.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
not seeing an increase in school and training. It
Well,
just-
actually, we moved it down to meeting expense.
Okay, that's that meeting expense.
Yeah, meeting expense, yeah.
That is a huge increase, Judge.
Well, the Sava County judge is 6,500. And Llano County's at 9,000. I make a lot of meetings. I'm on about 5 or 6 boards. I have meetings throughout the state.
It's about a 32% increase. From all the way back to.
Yeah.
Previous Kurt Full. That's a lot of money. I just didn't know from $500 to 6,500, so.
Well, any meetings I've been going to these days, I've been paying for and paying for the motel rooms. Plus, we don't have any money left.
Does the state not recoup some of your,
Well, the state does, TAC does on some of those.
I think he gets one.
One deal gets paid for,
One reimbursement for $750.
the minor people?
but
We cover like one school.
yeah,
Maybe
part of one school, 1 or 2 days. Yeah,
So would it be better to have it under schools and training or to have it under meeting expense? Or have it divided? I'm not trying to get in the meeting, but that's a huge difference.
different counties got different things. Llano County has travel dues and conventions altogether. Excuse me, Sava County has travel dues and conventions altogether. That's a question I can consult with Summer. What do you recommend if we need to change something on that?
That's up to the court. That's a court decision. I just punched the number in with the one change.
Yeah.
This point.
So Cory, if y'all want me
I
to
just-
change that to another expense item or something, or spread it out?
I don't have a problem with it is on the meeting.
You don't have a problem with the such high increase.
Just, I mean, it's been 0 all this time and $500 and then 6,500. I mean, that's what it costs.
Well, I've got
It's
there,
expensive, does you won't spend it necessarily.
yeah,
I mean, it's gonna be there for him in case he does need it.
I got 1 or 2 meetings in Belton every month, which I hadn't been lately. I've been trying to do on Zoom if I can. I've got boards in Brownwood, Lampasas, sometimes in Sava, and of course, Austin, I can go to meetings if I have to. I try not to Austin anymore than I have to. I think I have 17, 18 hours of continuing education this year. And which will be in College Station, Bryan or Lubbock.
That falls under school and training.
Yeah,
I want to say it's 20.
maybe 20 or 21.
You get it all at the spot.
Yeah, which may be Lubbock or College Station or whatever. Well, just expenses, folks, have gone up on diesel, lodging. I don't think I'd spend that much. If there's gonna be an issue though, I could lower it something.
That's what we're going over.
Yeah.
Just looking it over.
Yeah.
so. And then, where is, my next question would be, where is the payment for Charles Miles at?
It's in model.
Non-departmental. I've already discussed that with Charles.
Well, I didn't know if it was supposed to be.
That's Jason.
Always been-
Yeah, get up, Jason. That's some Savage County's deal.
Oh, I don't care about St. Tab, I'm worried about this guy.
Well, I was just saying it's the same in line as what St. Sabbath is.
Okay,
The last 2 years, we didn't have anything hard budget with that, Judge Smith. I mean,
He paid for his own expenses.
I understand that. I understand that, but I don't think it should be.
well, that's why I went back, that's why I went all the way back to the previous judge before Ed Smith. I mean, it's a huge increase even from Kurt Falk.
Well, that's what I don't have a problem with increase. Cost of everything.
Okay.
Okay. Bill,
I don't have a problem with it. I think we need to be as conservative as we can.
Sure.
I mean, we do
Well-
16 hours on $1,250.
Well, that's what we're here for. This is a workshop.
Okay, so I'm good.
Okay. Moving on, the second one on page 3, county and district clerk. Ms. Scott, do you have any comments or anything? I know you have of course, you got a new software package that's included, which has been done this year. And how's that going?
Slow, but it is going.
Yeah, hopefully it'll help things.
I do think it'll help, I think it's gonna help more in the district court setting. And plus, the Texas court system is offering to pay for part of that for 5 years. And we moved forward with that. To take advantage of that.
So is that a grant or what is that? How's that?
They basically said there's 254 counties and we're getting 254 different types of reports. So you will move by the end of 5 years. If you will move early, we will help the smaller counties offset the cost because most smaller counties don't have an IT department to get this done.
So where's the revenue? Are they gonna send it to us or are they just gonna, I mean, how's that gonna work? Is that gonna be a?
Has made a deal with the state. This is the.
Okay. So it won't come through us as a grant or something and back out.
It's just already set in the process.
And of course, Ms. Scott, they hired extra help last year, which, as we all know, they've been very busy. The county and district clerk's office.
Budget as far as payroll goes. We're moving Julie, who is considered a temp employee to a part-time employee, so that will increase our commitment to being into TCBRS. And that's the only benefit we have to run on for a part-time employee, and when you start working on where it's for some counties. So that's why this event, that increase be more than 30%.
part-time, how does that include on ours, when you say part-time?
No more than 30, I don't think, in it.
Yes, that's the basis, but I think Sonya's trying to play something like that. So during elections, she may work a few more hours, but there's other times during the year, because she's part-time, she doesn't get any holidays. She doesn't get sick time, anything like that, so she averages 20 hours a week.
Oh, also, Sonia, I think you might want to mention elections. We got a lot of elections this next fiscal year, correct? You might state to the court.
Correct. And I just came back from an election law conference. There's been a lot of changes. One of the most notable changes is going to be your early voting in a primary and in a presidential election will be 12-hour days. The last week, we will have to be open on a Saturday and a Sunday, 12 hours on a Saturday and 6 hours on a Sunday. So we're going to be paying those workers for those extra hours. My office will be open if the polls are open. So I may not have a full staff on Saturday and Sunday, but we have to be open if the polling location is open. Those 12 hours that it's open, my people will be there.
So that's one of the reasons for the increase in elections expense.
They're also mandating that we have to have curbside voting, and so we'll have to have the supplies to have that available. We'll also have to have, extra ballot boxes when you go out to the curbside. There has to be different signage. There has to be a cone with a PVC piece stuck in it with a sign on it. We can't take a handicap designated spot for curbside voting. It has to be its own spot. So we'll be having all that signage printed. It will be at each polling location.
When they do that, do they contact you when they pull up, or how, do you have someone out there waiting all the time, or what?
They actually asked if we would like to buy county cell phones for all of our judges. Either gotta get some type of doorbell system where people can pull up and ring a buzzer.
I mean, that's gonna be a lot, as you know what I'm saying, there's only one person a day or two a day pull up, that's gonna be
We're working with the Secretary of State for a workaround for counties that don't have the funds to go buy those things. They suggested even opening the blinds and have someone honk their horn or flash their lights so that they can go out. They suggested they put the clerk's office phone number on a sign, and then as soon as we get the call, we find out where they are and then call the polling judge on their personal cell phone to go outside and help someone vote. We're still working on resolution with this with the Secretary of State.
Gas station.
Yeah, ring.
They just drive across and there you go.
Klein used to honk at the feed store, Commissioner Parton, so. Okay. Commissioners,
The only other one I have question on is 315, which is office supplies.
215 or 315, okay?
It's budgeted 5,500 this year. You're only at 2,000 actual right now, and you're going up 1,000. Just taking a guess that because of this election stuff, or
Well, the office supplies, the chairs in the office need to be replaced. And so we'd like to do that. There still needs to be a printer upstairs in the district courtroom. So if I need to pull from there, Mike and I've been trying to get a printer up there. We borrowed one from the DA's office, and the DA said that was grant money, we had to give it back. So we need a printer upstairs. So it needs to be in equipment instead of office supplies, we can do it.
yeah, I think that printer, as what was discussed in IT meeting, is going to come out of IT line item budget. So yeah. Okay.
So you know,
office supplies or equipment?
well, so is our hours increasing on our spilling or just the expense of the spilling?
Might be expensive too.
For this year, we're at 1291.
Because I haven't attended any schools yet, because we've been doing a software conversion, so you're about to see those schools go up. I've got one in August and I've got one in September.
Now, Commissioner Wright asked a question about equipment or office supplies.
Which one you want to go to, Jason? You had a question?
Oh, no. I was just seeing if she's just got it all under office supplies, but instead of equipment.
Well, that's what I'm asking, does it make that much difference?
I don't think it does. You're just picking.
No, I'm not asking to move it. I was just seeing. I was just seeing there's not much spent this year. That's all I was spent. Just double checking.
The district court expenses, does that fall back on the county? Or do they have their own?
They have their own sheet. 545.
Yeah,
Get there.
which we'll get there in a little bit, yeah.
Which also you need to know there was a law that changed on jury payment too, so you're gonna see that as well.
What's the new payment for jurors?
Have to, I'll have to tell you the range. Most people are. It's 10 for the first day and 40 thereafter, and your limit, that's what we pay now. It's going up, and they'll set a range, and commissioners can pick. What I'm seeing on listserv is a lot of people are picking 20 and 60 out of the range, because it's easier to do the math and just getting someone at 20 when they walk out. But the treasurer and I still need to discuss some things on that, and then I'll bring it to court.
Okay. All right, commissioners, any other questions on county and district clerk? Moving on to the next page, justice of the peace. Ms. Kim Abens, Kim, I'll start speaking and you can help me. One increase, which deals with autopsies. The number for the fiscal year so far, am I correct? 8, 9?
For right now, we have 4, and last year we had 15. And it will be at 20 or so, some prediction.
Yeah, and average cost of autopsies is $3,000, correct?
And yes, for Travis County, and we have 6, and 4 were cremation, but 6 Mandy's honest.
And for the commissioners, for a little report, we do autopsies when there's someone dies with out of the hospital, nursing home, whatnot. If they're not old, I guess you could say, accidents, car accidents, a few more things like that you got to do. There's a lot of times we have to do these autopsies. Or a child, yes.
Care, it's best not just gas. Especially the car, that, you know, county, we see we've had some, in the past, position we have to had is if it was drug related or there's like foods, and that, couple years way back, so we don't do that, but.
Okay. So anyway, the number has been going up. We foresee it possibly staying that way too for the next budget cycle. And your net data going okay? Your software?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me back, well, I think that's their, we had 2 indigent ones, and there are 2 indigent ones on this past year, but I'm not sure if that comes out, I mean, I think it's, summer on that, or the name, or is it cremated, or the funeral home, or the 6 funeral home, or another, that's the pay down, so I didn't know if that would in effect. Now, for the interest and medical, because it's totally not something I need, but say you've got somebody you're another one a while back in nursing home, and you didn't know, and I didn't know, I think they're different, because they're a nursing home. They're anything, is that anything coming out of, you know, my department inquest, because I think it has been, and I have never in the past. I should probably put some on that.
okay.
That, I mean, when it's gonna be a bill, I have to pay. It was like a funeral home with somebody else, and did it yet, that come out of our office. Is there a special fund out, because there were big ones, none of you guys all know, if they're indigent, it's county's responsibility, and that's where this money comes in. I mean, that area one, I think they're chasing up on that, is there's a certain place where very, indigents, and I think it's got a great opportunity.
Jones Valley.
Jones Valley.
I think last year we discussed this and it's only happened 1 or 2 times, so I think we've put money into the medical. Examiner is going to cover those 2, so creating a whole nother line, if that's something y'all want to do between.
No, it's fine with me.
But I want to point out, and I talked to Tim about this before, I did it on 319 is for software. Last year I divided it between this budget and her special use fund. It's called JP Technology Fund, and we've never been able to get that JP Technology Fund out of the red, so to speak, because it's fed by fees. So this year I would like to give that fund a rest, to break, and pull it all out of this fund. So her total cost of her software is $6,525. We're covering that all in this budget.
Instead of the special fund.
Right. Because we tried to do half and half last year, and it's still, the fees haven't covered it yet.
Okay.
What fees go into it?
What?
What fees go into that fund?
It's a complicated calculation, so if you don't want to come down and we're gonna pull her kinds of fees, and I'll show you how I
Just
you can play. And
That's the only way I can go.
then you can help me out.
Yes. Okay,
Again, that same question kind of asked Sonia, but office supplies on 315, we've got it at $4,000, but we've only spent less than 400 this year.
You went out back in front of me, so I love to have a conversation. You went over it in equipment. This mean.
And then they had to do that. We keep the cost of the body video. I'm not approval, I'm not very big on final law. We'll get some paper, we'll get some, but as far as the I do know where needed computers that I spoke with Jeff about, that means I think something Goldsmith.
That's going to be under technology. Yeah.
I don't have it. sound sound, they don't have a camera and all that sort of thing. We know that I'm part of 2 years, but they're also going to need about it. I would be here and for an office here.
Same thing with postage.
We do a lot of mailing out of postage and bonds, probably later on. I don't understand possible money, we're still mailing things, civil cases, that claim, you have to send that stuff to the attorneys and, that's what. Things like Asian, they go to the sheriff's office, because I'm, out of county, another one.
Again, that's way, I mean, you're guessing way high from what you've done in many years in the past, so.
That's what, that's like the clerk's office on postage, so. Postage went up on both of them. so.
Well,
Yeah,
I
but-
believe that every department is supposed to that.
We don't have much.
Except for this department, or are they over now, because it's not showing that now. Okay. And I guess schools and trainings is on everybody's.
I did a lot online, then my husband had to start online, that's specialty. So then I used to go to class, and I usually be up on that all 20 and others are awesome and get into. I was only able to do 10 hours past year, and now I'm doing all the rest online, and I started using all the.
Yeah, that's my question.
All right, Commissioners, any other questions for Justice of the Peace? Hearing none, we'll move on to the county treasurer expense. Ms. Summer, you want to take the lead here? You'll have any questions for her?
I will go ahead and explain why I increased my school training. I had to have treasurer hours, investment. Fund hours, I go to HR trainings, county risk management. And then building county, all of those things are things that the office needed to contain that benefits the county. The Humboldt County, we get that going and get that involved, which we're able to do. That helps our insurance rates. I think the more involved we get there, they kind of look at a reflection. County risk management, they have people participating in their meetings. They look at that and see. I think they take it into consideration and considering rates. All the other things I'm required to do in statutes.
I think it's excellent to go take advantage of all these meetings that you can. If nothing else, you talk shop, you meet other treasurers, commissioners too. It's good to talk shop, all these other counties. And of course, we all have requirements we have to make too.
Well, the only one question I have, and we've kind of talked at my team meetings, but, and you brought it up last year in this, was your software. And so I know you're just gonna limp along with it. Okay,
This is not.
Okay.
I talked about it, it's not providers, they're still servicing it this year, they've increased it by the cost of by $600. I'm not going to do a conversion, probably another conversion, that will be this next year. That's not a good thing, and then I'll talk about that. And that will be something we address in the.
Okay. Any other questions? Commissioners for county treasurer? Hearing none, we'll go to the next page, ag extension office expense. Mr. Guthrie's out of town today, or he'd be here. Not much increase, of course, schools, trainings, et cetera, went up slightly for him. Tom does an excellent job, of course.
yeah, it's barely changed.
What's that?
I said it just barely changed.
Yeah.
I have no question.
No questions? Okay. Moving on, county attorney expense, as I stated earlier, County Attorney Hale is not here. County Attorney Hale did increase the postage. Somewhere over the meeting, he was saying he won't be very careful. He does a great job and just want to make sure what our postage he does for the county expense is there. And he'd pretty well been covering a lot of his own postage for the county, as he stated to us. And I suggested, if you're doing county work, you need to sure put this in your budget.
I think it's hard for them to determine, or-
What's county work?
Yeah, from his personal.
As like reimbursable expenses, have it sent projects.
Uh-huh.
How's that?
You spend over $300, whatever. on those.
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
Any questions on attorney's expense? Hearing none, we'll go to courthouse maintenance, page 8. Guy, you might come up here, guy not in right now, is he? Oh, there he is, yeah, there he is. Guy, I don't know if there's anything, let me go through here. One proposal was, if approved, having a part-time person helping Guy out. Correct, Guy, let's see, we're talking about maybe 20 hours of somebody, if we can find that person. As you all know, Guy's been extremely busy. Does a wonderful job for us. We couldn't get by without him. Always facilities management, maintenance engineer, everything he does. If it's approved, this person would come in and do more of, right, Guy, the cleaning, the floors, et cetera, et cetera. Guy's been getting behind. Now, one thing, and this is, while we're in this workshop, we are going to be almost done with that EMS building, which Guy spent lots of hours out there. So that is one good thing. It should help Guy out and get caught up on some of these other projects he's doing.
So is that included with the custodian's salary?
Yes.
Yes.
Plus, you've got to consider you're paying into TCR.
Correct. Okay.
And again, it's just something we're looking at. I mean,
Does that need to be separated so that it's a part-time versus the custodian's full-time salary?
That's a complicated thing to do within payroll. You're adding another line. You've got to make sure those lines adjust.
Okay, I just didn't know we had part-time and under block deposits.
Yeah.
What is the? You expect an increase in your equipment from 600 from 250 to 1,000?
Guy, come on up here. Yes, sir. You might explain that.
Yeah, I've got a weed eater / edger. It's on this last layer. I'm nursing it through, it shuts off on me now, I'm trying to nurse it through this summer. So that's gonna be the one that I wouldn't cost I'm gonna have there.
I guess biggest thing I'd say is miscellaneous expense.
Yeah, that's for, I go to Austin once a year for the Rural Places Convention for the Texas Historic Commission. And then there are 3 workshops besides that a year. Generally, out of those 3, one of them will have good information and good classes that I can take that pertain to what we have here at this schoolhouse. And just depending on what they have on the agenda, that determines whether I go. And, if they have classes on concrete repair, things like this, and that's something I like to attend.
But
15,000.
but it's 15,000.
We had 15,000. We may have made a mistake on that, Guy.
What is the time?
It's been 1,500.
It should be 1,500. Yeah. I will.
See that.
I apparently made a mistake on that. So Summer, my apologies.
Sorry, guy.
Guy was gonna have some, he didn't tell you his meetings were in Honolulu. So, yeah, sorry. So that should be a correction. We had 15,000, my fault. That should be 1,500.
Now, I don't know if we talked about the building controls last year. And under the software is outdated, it's just gonna be a matter of correction.
Yeah, Guy, that was an estimate of how much for, you talking about the building control software commissioners for the heating cooling system on this courthouse, was it?
It was 33,000
$33,000.
just to have the front end replaced, that's
Yeah.
all software.
Which, and according to Guy and all the experts he talks to, this is really a must deal we need to get done.
Yeah, the back half, which is the hardware, we still have some life on that. Because, I mean, they want like $60,000 to replace the whole control system. But the hardware, I recommend that we hang on to that. It could last another 8, maybe even 10 years.
So where is that in this budget?
What,
I didn't, and that's what, I don't know if that's supposed to come up on the maintenance or if that comes up a separate line.
we had repairs and maintenance, dash air conditioning, AC,
He's got a AC on.
Yeah.
20,000.
but that's still not enough to cover the 33,000.
That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm bringing up.
But this is where it should be in this page, correct?
I would say it needs to go into the AC.
So we possibly might need to bump the repairs and AC from 20 to 33,000 in your
That
state.
was the last proposal, which was good through June, so. I'm gonna have, it's probably gonna be a little bit higher.
Yeah. You might,
20 on top plus 33, because we're talking about compressors or 2 compressors.
Yeah, because we've gone through 1 compressor this year already with 170-degree temperatures, over 100-degree temperatures for almost a month now. I've had to call the AC people out here just about every week.
So we'll raise that to 50.
Yeah, it's fine.
You want bump it to what, 33,000,
Bump it to 53.
53? 20 to 53?
I've covered it 15,000.
Yeah. okay,
All right.
okay.
Okay.
Any other questions for Guy? Guy, thank you, bud. Moving on to Veteran Service Officer is not here today. Not much increase, as you can see. He is getting I believe, new computer. Possibly, is that right, Summer? Am I?
He's getting the computer, but it's coming out of
This year's.
technology budget.
Uh-huh. And I don't have any other information for Mr. Wright. We get figures every month, commissioners. I know he sees lots of veterans. Commissioner Williams, what was that figure?
Oh, there's over 100 some hours.
Yeah, a lot of veterans. So I think Mr. Wright does a great job for our veterans.
I see him leaving a lot of times early in the morning going to temple. Taking some.
Oh, yeah, he's taking people all around and I know doing those veterans claims is a very complicated, time-consuming process too. Now, one question I had, Summer, the telephone utilities, of course, I know he's not using that much telephone, so most of that's mainly the utilities out there, and internet. Okay. Okay.
Would that go down if he moved, had an office in the building? I mean, we're just talking $2,000, but I didn't know, that was just a question.
What Commissioner, I'll follow up on that. What Commissioner Williams alluded to there, one time was approached about possibly moving the VSO to the courthouse. The issue, of course, is where do we put someone? We're pretty well out of room in the courthouse. And of course, there's that issue of a county attorney someday. We may have to get another office for a county attorney in a year and a half or so. So.
The internet, where is it provided for?
Under utilities.
Yes, who provides the.
Yes, see, okay.
And
I don't think any other commissioners have it in our precinct, except Jason, I guess that's who provides it.
Yeah.
And Commissioner, if you have some questions you want to answer, I will get in touch with these individuals and get the answer back to you. Next workshop. So any other questions on the VSO? Hearing none, we'll go to the next page. District attorney expense. Pretty well the same as last year. I don't have any other comments on this. Ms. Campbell, you have any comments on district attorney expense when you know about?
Everybody, everything the same.
Okay. Okay, no questions on that? Going to tax assessor / collector's office. Miss Lori, I don't know if anybody's got any questions for you. As you all, we get our reports from Lori every month, and y'all all see what the vehicle registration has done. It's really on a big increase. Voter registration's also increased. If I'm correct on the figures, in 2020, 1,985 registered voters.
Correct.
And as of last month, we're at 3,030. How many?
3,444 as of July 1st.
So we're gonna almost have a double in registered voters by the end of the year possibly. Or sooner.
It's not outside the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
And Mills County is also the #1 county in the state of Texas for title transaction processing per capita. And we do it to- And the #2 county is, I can't remember what it is, was it Blanco? Blanco.
Yeah, Blanco, yeah. Yeah.
Plus the taxes. She called on budget information, how many people that we have. And when I told her, she said, well, I don't guess I can just for another person.
yeah. Well, y'all do a great job. What about your software and everything? Everything going good on that?
Our the copier contract expired. I think it's $126 a month for our copier. And I didn't see any reason to increase that. And I requested that we continue on with our monthly rate with the same copier. I didn't see any reason, we've had no problems with it, and no need to get a different one. So.
Okay. All right, commissioners, anything for Ms. King?
Well, only question I have, I don't know, this may be a judge's question here, is so the salary is 4.6% increase. And you told us earlier everybody was getting a 3% increase. Is there a reason this one?
Well, I'll just round it off to 45,000 on that.
He's always been behind on her salary ever since that office was. She ran for that office. It used to be on the sheriff's office.
It is also in line with some other counties
Well, I
too.
understand that, but I was just trying to figure out why it's, everybody else is getting a 3% increase and she's getting nearly a 5% increase.
Well, it's more in line with other counties when I checked on the information.
More like the other counties.
How about repair and maintenance? I wanted to ask that question. Did you touch on that, Jason? If you did, I didn't hear it. On repair and maintenance. You know, $0 in there. Do you need something in it, Lori?
Let me, hold on just 1 minute.
You had repairs and maintenance,
Not that I'm aware of,
okay?
I think we're okay. We went up on postage, we have the every 2 years, we mail out to a maximum of voter registration cards, not this year, so we bumped the postage up.
Okay. So I had.
Any questions? Okay, going down to, we're at the B part on the budget workshop, non-departmental, which is page 12. A lot of items in this.
How does the longevity pay? How does that work? Good.
I think, Summer, would you want to tackle that question?
Again, it's the same thing for the last.
Down to my office and I'll show you this.
That's all I need.
It's
It's a sliding scale. I
in
know
the
that.
handbook, so.
It's based on time served.
Right.
Yes, it's a sliding scale.
There are so many caveats where people, it's kind of complicated, because people have had a period of time where they missed. And you can't cover that gap, and then they're going part-time to full-time. It should be an easy thing, but it's pretty complicated, so I have an Excel spreadsheet that kind of helps me do it. And that's-
See, Charles.
Because we're pretty small. someone speaking.
Yes. I do.
Yeah, that's the best answer. Go see Summer. It is somewhat complicated and it is a sliding scale too.
Glad to speak to you, so
No, I
if you want to speak.
So the big notice, I guess Goldsmith gave you the technology on 349.
They have not.
That's just a guess.
Yes.
Big number, isn't it?
We can, I mean, we're talking about a server. More, the other half of computers.
And then the next one, the very next one, we've had tons of discussion about.
Well, I'll just tell you, I didn't put all the cameramen in that one, because vendors will look at the budget on.
So how are we gonna budget for the cameras then?
Let's place money in other ones.
Okay.
To kind of buffer it.
Because-
But I don't want vendors to be able to go online and look at our budget and go, oh, $90,000, that's what I'm gonna put them, so I could have put in there.
I understand,
Be
but
in that,
I'm just saying from the RFPs, that's not, yeah.
I don't have any more information on what that's gonna cost than you do, because I did, I put it right there.
Don't think it's hard to answer someone when they ask us when it's $0, 0 to 90,000.
Well, what I'm asking, Mike, is that's not what the RFPs gave us.
And we didn't have camera security RFPs last year, and so that's why we're breaking it out into the new line. It's a completely total new line that you've never seen in the budget before.
Right.
So that's why it says 0 before it, there's no issue.
Remind me. It is a. I've had a lot of people ask me about the county situation, and I think we all have.
Yeah, and I just, as long as you've got a contingency somewhere else, okay?
Well,
I don't know that I have the full.
Yeah, I understand that, but that was way.
the other question I have. On the EMS contract, Judge, I guess it falls
Yes,
under your.
that's $250,000 per year. And we had a renewal in June and the contract will be signed next month, right? I think first September sometime. It'll be the same expense, Commissioner Wright.
Have we talked anything about releases or anything in the new building that we're gonna provide?
Guy and I have, good question. Guy and I are in contact with the people at Hamilton EMS just to verify exactly what is expected of us, what's expected of them, what they're gonna pay. Correct, Guy?
Yes, sir, my understanding, at present is, as they say, they lease the building for at no cost, they take care of
All utilities.
maintenance.
Well, we'll have to put that in an interlocal agreement because that's not in their current contract.
Right.
So we'll have to add an interlocal agreement to whatever we do.
Yeah.
Either we charge them a fee or not. That's gonna have to be its own line item, agenda item.
And Guy, we'll work on that. We can bring it to the Commissioner's Court soon. Sometime the next couple of weeks, okay?
But we'll have to get with Gerald on that
Yeah.
too, because Gerald will have to help write up the
Sure.
interlocal agreement
Sure.
or the contract or leasing or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
And Jason, you asked about the county expense 210,
Yeah.
that's Charles and all his fees.
Right.
Whereas 501 is when we have our independent auditors.
And that's with the accounting firm out in San Angelo, correct?
Right.
I forgot their name right now.
Or, yeah. Or,
Who's all on the drug testing on
any employees,
any employee?
and their records are tested for years ago.
Yeah, I know the CEO. But I didn't know that's what would happen.
Pre-employment physical and drug screen for every employee that's in. We have 5 years on it.
Yes.
So I wish Charles wouldn't have left, but, so question on, back to 210, 210. That is going up for reason one. Is that what he's charging more?
He's gonna charge same amount what's been budgeted for this year and go up slightly for next year.
Slightly, that's nearly.
That's 4,000 more.
Well, he's calculating the tax rates and helping prepare the budget.
Well, I thought y'all were doing that.
Well, he's assisting. I've had about 6 meetings with him this last few weeks.
I do this part, and then Charles does the tax rate, and then we go back and forth on these that we see in minutes. And he'll continue to probably have a.
Before he was just kind of doing the year-end wrap up, right?
Correct, so those 3 pages that you saw, where it shows the fund balances, the receipts and the disbursements, that's what he provided us every year so that we can make.
The rest of it.
Our decision on what the being was in that calculate, send you a calculation of the tax rate, but I think the previous show was backed up with his own calculation.
Well, this is a judge expense, then, basically. Okay.
Okay, any other questions on non-departmental expenses? Hearing none, we'll go to the next page, public service expenditures on page 13.
There's not many public here, but I'm gonna jump down to 617.
You okay?
I'm on the child welfare board. And I believe Mike Williams passed for that.
Yes,
The reason he based that on his calculations, I wasn't in your meetings, but what he told the child welfare board that he asked for that is because we raised 20,000 in a fundraiser, and he would like to see if the county would match it. Originally, last year it was 10,000, and we said we would, if they would give us 10,000, we would match it with 10,000. And we did that, and I'm guessing that's why
That's-
I made the proposal for 20,000, but.
that's correct, Commissioner Williams, and y'all do have fundraisers, and y'all been very successful at the fundraisers. We have been told that Mike Williams is leaving the Child Welfare Board,
Yes, he has resigned.
so the status is unknown on, well, you're currently the interim, or are you taking over?
Well, I'm the vice president or vice chairman until the new elections, and that happens in September, I think.
Okay,
So we're just carrying on till then, but yeah, the board really didn't go over. We just come to y'all with this, so I don't know what he explained to y'all, so
Well, that's-
that's all I can explain.
that's basically what he explained to me.
How many kids in Marion County does that have?
It was 11 last year that were on CPS, but as of right now, there is none in CPS care right now. But to answer your question a little bit different, Mike, CPS is changing all their way they do things, so. It's a state thing, and basically they're gonna put more of that CPS stuff back on the counties. It's in a way, it's in a roundabout way, an unfunded mandate. And so you're in charge of catching those kids before they slip through the. So as of right now, we have no CPS kids. We do have some kids that we're having to still continue to help that are in the foster, it's in the kinship program. They're with their families. And then there's some that are in an RTC program that we still have to continue to help. And RTC means resident treatment facilities, so. Something like New Horizons or wherever, so.
I know someone needs to be have a pat on the back on the program, I feel like, because, you know, like, so we had zero here in this county for a while, and all of a sudden, we had an interest in it. Now, how many people serve on that board, 9 or 10?
Well, no, they're down to 7 now, and that's, you're fixing to see, and you're fixing to see a bunch more added when they do the elections and all that other stuff, and that's it. Again, that's like the historical commission that'll come before the commissioners court, will vote to approve those names. So you will see that an increase, yes.
How does CASA, does it fall under that category the same way?
It does in a way, they, CASA is a, they work through the court system. They support the kids in the court system, but, we work a lot with CASA. CASA calls the Child Welfare Board when they need some assistance and stuff, so, the Child Welfare uses, some of their monies to help with CASA when they get into certain situations.
Go ahead.
Commissioners, any other questions?
The only thing I have is the transfers down on the bottom section, 651. Your law enforcement is going from 1.495 to 1.801. Is that just an increase or that much?
That is, and those numbers right there will be ever changing with this process. So once you start evaluating the sheriff's department and expenses will decrease, that transfer comes out. But to make it not be a deficit budget, that's the transfer.
And so we're not doing that sheriff's departments today, so.
No sheriff's department today. So that'll be the same for the senior citizens.
Correct. We'll change.
The only other thing,
Those usually involved.
the only other thing I have, and we've done it every year. Of course, I didn't realize we are responsible for helping with the government dams. Which that's in our, that's basically, I guess. But is our donation to soil conservation, is that tied into that? Is that for clerical purposes or? Because we're still responsible for doing the in-kind work with.
I mean, you might ask them, but I think it's our matching funds. For what they get in state funds. It's kind of not understanding.
Yeah, we met-
It's 5,000, they can go up and apply for, so much will be based on what they get in kind. So like you're gonna apply for a grant and they're gonna say, well, we need you to match us 10%. That $5,000 seems to be the number.
I'll ask them because of this last couple of years we've been involved with. Hadn't done anything yet because it's slower than molasses.
Yeah.
But the fact that we do have to do whatever work they require on the dams, you know, also, so.
Yeah, there's some confusion on what does in-kind services mean on the dam work and what are we supposed to do? Okay.
I know a few years ago, I think, before you got over, I think they had some beavers or something on one of the dams at Chief Room, and I know the county went out, used their equipment and furnished some of the material to patch it down, do something too. So, but, I don't know if they paid money for it, it was just in kind of.
Well, I was hit this year that I needed to, we've got a top one of the roads where they cross the top of the dam to go reading meters, and it's been beat out in wet times. And they had contacted me about budgeting more material money. And I contacted them back, told them that they needed to budget the material money that we would do the in-kind work. You know, we couldn't furnish the material money.
You're gonna follow up on that then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions on public service expenditures? And I guess that community is included in that. So here in summer, I guess we'll go judicial, which I think is on pages 60 and 61. Okay, Commissioners, if there on page 60 is court fund receipts. You can see all the different items there. Proposed is almost the same as last year's budget. Any questions on that? Okay, then page 61, court fund expense.
And like asked for the same amount of raise for his employees as we got. 3%.
Visiting court reporter, is that a typo? 360.
Talking about to 25,000 possibly.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Yeah.
2,500, it went to 25,000.
I'll take,
To 58, this is where I increased it, by 5,000, it's a good where we're at June or 35.
Yeah,
It's going from. The hourly rate is 75, they're increasing it to 90. And that's for both indigent attorney fees and CBS attorney fees. If you'll go down to 370, you'll see we've got $25,000 budgeted and we've only used 13. So 13,000.
so do we need to change that 25 then up on that other one?
These, so I think that's one that we don't need to change because the activity is low.
On the visiting court reporter?
Oh, I'm gonna change that back to 25.
yeah, 2,500, yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the other one also from 9,500 to judicial regional expense should be $950 versus 9,500. On 362.
What these budgets are for.
That's what we're here for.
If this is gonna affect the CPS court attorney expenses. The CPS is going back to in-person hearings, we'll be having another judge here. And she's gonna be making.
Where's this other judge coming from?
Mabry, I think she's coming from the.
Plano? Is it, who would you say, Mabry?
Mabry,
Yeah, I've heard her name.
so she'll be here, Judge Lewis goes from San Angelo. The AG's office, and when they're here, they're coming out of Belton, I believe.
Okay,
I mean, we're in, this is through June, it was 13 out of 25. And in my group, there was gonna be huge increase in activity, so I think that.
We'll just see this year and if we can go over, we'll.
yes,
That's something to keep our eyes on.
okay, any other questions, gentlemen?
What is the 368, what is that?
Third Court of Appeals,
$20.
So. It's pulled in from fees, but basically quarterly, we pay a certain amount of money to third quarter bills. And I would have to go back and search that one and see why it's just.
Oh, yeah. It's always been
It
due also.
used to be a line that somebody is. Typo.
I don't have a question.
Okay,
Well,
any other questions? Hearing none, and we'll go to related dedicated and special use funds. I believe that's on page 34. What sheriff's forfeiture receipts? Not much change on that. Summary and comments I need to make, or you make on this,
Revenue pretty much stays the same, but I think it gave me to extend the portion. And those are just numbers that live in the system based on.
expense, is on the next page, commissioners, on page 35. Which is actually down from last year's.
A lot of that had to do with equipment, so. It is going up on the impress funds, the uniforms. And the school and training, which, if y'all remember, just a couple of weeks ago, we did line item corrections. And those were all three of the things that we corrected. So he's moved that into these funds.
Which you shouldn't do, because these are funds, these are funds that are being fed by fees. If you can take the burden off. the
Yes.
General fund, then you shouldn't be able to take this.
I'm just saying, when we get to the other, when we get to his account, you have to look back at this one to see. Because these will be in with each other.
What are impress funds?
Money to buy those.
Money by what?
If you have an undercover agent, you need to go buy those, that's the amount you got.
That's under impress.
Yes.
Okay.
And we've never had that before, so.
Okay.
No problem.
Not much money for drugs.
The drugs must be cheap these days, huh?
How would you know?
Okay, Summer, what else?
He's just trying to buy a smidgen, not a whole
truckload. Page 36, sheriff's forfeiture. Does that need to be discussed right now?
Well, that's just.
That's from the page before.
That's what now?
That's from the page before. That's the.
It's the same fund.
It's the
just
same
showing the
fund.
revenue first.
Okay,
It's a special fund.
okay. Anything else I need to go over or bring to the court's attention? I guess page 40, Sheriff's Special Use Fund, Special Use Receipts. Which is about the same.
And these are. Fed by fees, and so they're especially used in dedicated money, there's only certain things that you need to understand.
The other one added there was travel.
Correct.
Again, I think that was the line item that we corrected the other day, so.
What was that, Commissioner Williams?
I said, I think that was one of the line items we corrected in.
Okay,
For the sheriff's law enforcement department, so when we would discuss that,
okay, anything else? Summer, anything else I need to,
Special use funds, first, it's all the way to the back.
oh, with the back, which I think's next would be what, Justice Court Technology Fund?
This is the fund where I talked about being, software fees, and we have to last year between this. Business fund and then our actual fees, and we were unable to cover the cost of half. So we're gonna just give it a year and worry if everyone's gonna take. Build up the funding. Hopefully go back and it's good that they need to be part of it.
Okay. Questions on that, commissioners? Okay, next page 44, Justice Court Tech and Fund Expense. Same as last year. No questions? Page 45, Justice Court Technology Fund.
I thought we were on 56.
Or were we 46? Excuse me, I paid earlier. Okay, page 46. Count,
These are the receipts. Revenue you're gonna bring in versus technology purchases. You can see that it's zero, we need to give that fund a raise. We used it this year, we used the fund balance in any revenue that's come in to do the conversion this year.
okay. Okay. Page 47, County and District Technology Expense.
That's where it's zero.
Yeah. Okay. Page 48, Court Technology Fund, same deal. So 49, Records Archive Fee, County Clerks.
Yeah, just decrease the fees a little bit. I hope we have more court activity this next year and then surprises me, but I decreased it a little bit.
Okay,
So, if you look at revenues versus expenses. You'll have a little buffer.
okay. Questions? Page 50, Records Archive Fee.
So we're doing, besides 2 months at LGS, just in case, yes, and then the 347.
Yeah.
Tyler, that's our yearly cost.
Okay. Questions? Okay, moving on to page 51, Records Archive Fee of County Clerk. This shows the breakdown, income expenses,
What page are you on?
page 51,
It's just,
Page 53.
53, excuse me. Page 53, County Clerk Management Fund Receipts.
and so that's going down quite a bit. On the receipt side of it.
Yeah, hoping that to be in the future. But this is also a fund that we use to pay for the conversion, so trying to give it a little bit of a break. Feel that done.
Okay, questions? Okay, page 54,
That's what she just said.
that's what you just did, okay.
55 was the revenue versus the data exactly back to 15 versus 7, so you go to 56. And you're in district record management preservation fund. Basically, let that say, thousand in, thousand out.
Okay.
And all of these are. Yeah, like these, they're not the first.
Okay,
69, and 61, and 62, one of them is on over. For his budget.
What have we missed, Summer?
63.
To go to page 63, where we talk about courthouse security fund.
Okay, Commissioners, page 63, Courthouse Security Fund.
If we want to put big numbers for security cameras, this is where you would fit it. Now, this is bringing in fees from the clerk's office and from the JP's office. So if you put your full amount of cameras into the expense side, you're going to have to do a transfer from the general fund. Now it'll be 925 on each stage. I don't know that yet. Y'all haven't directed me in which way to go.
Well, I think we have to, I think we're gonna have to budget. Because the one thing that we're saying is that our security, and then I think they're having, Sonia, aren't we having a courthouse security meeting this month? And so it's terrible on that, so I think they need to budget something there for. I don't think that's near enough, but
What's not near enough?
on courthouse security equipment.
Okay,
I mean, what's,
how much would you like me to budget?
I don't know, something.
I mean, I've done 90 of them in the general fund because we're waiting on.
We're waiting on RFPs or
We're
because
dividing it up.
we tabled the RFP.
That's the courthouse and the jails, last report.
Yeah, and they're dividing them up, so. And do you know if he's gonna come to Monday's court and with that division or do you know?
I hadn't heard anything from Goldsmith.
And so
I don't know.
if he can get us that number, then
Yeah.
that would solve this question.
Well, we can,
Unless there's something that I'm missing, you don't necessarily have to put it in this line, if we built a camera security line. In general fund, that's just another journal entry I have to make in this system.
So I know we're gonna talk about it here in a minute, but are the doors coming out of the security fund? Or are they gonna come out of? Where are we planning to put the doors?
well, there's basically two options, right? Security, and do we have another fund that some of that money could come from?
I mean, I don't know how much the doors are.
We're gonna discuss that here shortly, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if even, I think that this has to come out of this, but it's our guy, you thinking the doors can be security purposes?
Yeah, that was what was proposed one time with the deterioration of the doors, where you stick your finger through the security issue. But we can come back and address this, Commissioner Williams, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think you ought to put a star on this page, Judge. and so
Okay.
that we can come back at least our next
Okay,
board meeting and hopefully later on today and next week, we know something.
okay. That's under courthouse security expenses, correct?
Yeah, our equipment or security fund 1369.
What number was that?
Page 64, 369.
369, yeah, courthouse security equipment, okay. Okay. All right. We'll come back to that later. Summer, what's next?
69. Yeah,
If you look at page 66, this is our data service, these are just the amortized payment schedules calculated. And that's the total, and that's what you talk about the tax payment or the tax rate will cover the total expenses. It's basically an even out.
Okay.
from the county records management preservation fund, and that's also pulling some things out of the clerk's office. Pretty much left it the same. On both revenue and expense side,
Okay,
based on the fund balance. That is in there. Page 22, the law library is the same thing. I think maybe we had one small use last year. This year out of the law library.
okay,
I think we should spend some time on page 75 on the senior citizens fund.
okay,
Today, or do we want to do it another day?
No, I would like to finish out these special dedicated use funds so we can focus on the bigger items in the next 2 weeks.
okay,
Basically, right now, they're sitting in the negative. I have transferred all the money that we have allotted from the general funds to them, and I kind of glanced at it this morning, and there was $2,000 of grant revenue that hasn't taken place. And I don't remember that conversation taking place, but they were in a $5 grant.
I don't remember.
So that's basically, they're like $1,800 negative, so. I had to increase their transfer to cover their expenses.
Okay. I'll reach out to them, summer today or tomorrow. Who is the contact person since seven? What's her name? Miss Johnson? Is that the one?
That's nothing to do.
We're not,
It has nothing to do with
With them.
Good Country. This is.
this is our deal, okay.
So this comes out of repairs, utilities. So what is over is repairs and maintenance.
Okay, yeah, I was on the other page, 76.
You guys, I think guys expecting to have air conditioner and heating issues over there, so we have a little buffer for it.
You've had some repairs over there this year, haven't you, Guy, the Senior Citizen Center?
Yes, we have, that was one of the ones that we had. Compressor went out. And we didn't pay for that out of the AC fund for the courthouse.
Okay,
So. Again, we budgeted to 4,100, we've already spent 61 and the year's not over. So we're gonna up that to 91. Is that gonna cover the air conditioning?
is that gonna be enough, you think? Guy in summer?
Yeah, there's 4 more minutes, there's 5 minutes.
Okay. So 91, you think would be good? Okay,
And the operating supplement has to go with the Hill Country.
Correct. So that's something we tabled at the last meeting, is that an agreement? With them?
I think I signed that last Commissioners Court agreement, what, didn't I?
It was tabled, so you shouldn't have.
I shouldn't have. I can't remember. There's two different groups, yeah.
Yeah, but
And we talked about,
we talked about how then we approved the grant, the 5,000 grant to.
saying that we would speak about those in the budget. We would address both situations.
Oh, that's right. You're correct. You're correct. We wouldn't approve it until it was presented in the budget. That's correct.
Okay,
So nothing should be signed and sent off until. Budget. is approved.
Correct.
They were both tabled.
okay, thanks.
Then March Lake Fund, the I'm just, let this thing, you never know how that's gonna happen. We're gonna have more, zero activities,
Okay,
healthcare. The thing that's changed in there that we have this tobacco food settlement money and the opioid money both coming in, so that kind of helps. Keep us from transferring so much funds from the general fund to cover the cost of the care. In my opinion, that is gonna be very low this year. But you never know what's gonna happen this year.
Yeah.
It's not one of those things you can predict. Of course, we don't have any activity in the coronavirus relief fund. The, and any big thing has been come down to the end of the ARPA fund, we have money left over. We have the budget suspended in next year's budget, so I won't really know that until we get closer to the end of the project, hopefully by the end of the month.
okay.
So
Anything else, Summer?
that's kind of the end of that. Any other questions? Things we need to go back to, go over.
Commissioners, any questions? And we got several things we table and look back into next budget workshop. In the other questions regarding the budget workshop right now, commissioners? Well, I'll make a motion that we finish our budget workshop and then move into our regular commissioners court meeting with a possible break if anybody needs one. Okay. Well, we need to go out of this. I got a motion. Anybody second?
Second.
Second has been made by Commissioner Williams. Go back into Commissioner's Court with a 5-minute recess. We'll start in about 5 minutes, okay?
11:07.
11:07 right now. We'll start at 11, 7:12. What's that? Everybody vote. Yeah, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Right. Quick break and Jimmy, hang in there, bud. We'll be to you soon. You did now?
Yes.
All right, thanks. Okay. We're back in session. The time is 11:13 a.m. All commissioners are present and accounted for. Moving on to number 7. Consider an act on county vehicle registration fee for Department of Motor Vehicle. Apparently this is a yearly item. Commissioners, in your packet, you will see from the TDMV about with the fees and whatnot. And if approved, there's I guess there's a part for me to sign on this.
So what is it now? Are we changing it?
What's now? It's,
Tonight, no change or.
No change.
yeah, no change. Lori's not here right now, but and I think we're at the maximum fee for a lot of this right now. When I visited with her.
With nobody here to speak on it, then I'll make the motion that we do the no change.
Okay. Motion been made by Commissioner Williams for no change on this.
Well, if you're leaving money on the table.
We don't know what our total is right now.
Where we leaving the money?
What if you can increase your fees and make more money?
I thought she told me we're at the maximum fee, but when I talked to her a few weeks ago on some of these fees,
Okay.
but I'm not verified on, no.
Because I think that's what Simon and I are talking about is we're discovering there's fees that each office can be targeting, but it's not happening, so that's money times gone.
I tell you what, let's do, since you're local, yeah,
I believe.
well, I can give her a buzz and go another item and come back to it.
Let's do that. If some are feel not comfortable with leaving some money on the table, let's find out.
Yeah, let's verify, I agree. Yeah, let me tell you this, guy, if you can give Lori a buzz, see if she can come back up in a few minutes.
Sonya's
Or
back.
something, it's okay, and we'll come back to it. I understand, we want to make sure it's right, I mean,
Just trying to make sure we're maximizing our.
yeah, we want to make sure it's right, and I agree, let's move on.
Before we do, we have to. Hopefully someone.
And while we're, okay. Well, let's, for the time being, commissioners, let's table number 7.
Well, yeah, we'll just come back to it.
Okay, okay, I meant to table it for a little bit. What?
Want to withdraw your motion?
I'll withdraw my motion
Yeah,
at this time.
to withdraw the motion. And while we're waiting for Lori to get up here, let's go to number 8, consider an act on text dot resolution for County Road 112 at Browns Creek. I think this is Commissioner Porton's deal. Go ahead, Commissioner Porton.
Yes, this is the old bridge that's on the north end of Lake Mary. When we were discussing the bridge on 508. Told him about this when they looked at it, we had some documentation, so now they've decided. They're gonna do the one on 508 first, and there's really nothing happening. But this one, we do have to do this, whatever they call it, resolution. Does have to be signed by the county judge before they can go forward with it, so, be the same thing as one on 508, it'll be 100% federal and state funding. So, no in-kind work, so, I feel like very definitely we need to do it.
Yeah.
It's actually a worse bridge than one that's ahead of it. So.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good deal. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
How do you get on that list? They'll get these bridge things. I've had them out a couple times, and I can't get in.
A lot of the deal is, I guess, prior work, because when I started, both these folders were already there, and every year. Well, the biggest thing was I'd contact them because they'd come out and inspect them, and I'd contact them, say, okay, what do we have to do to get that bridge up to y'all's compliance? Because every year we'd either have to burn trash out from under them, do some concrete patching, I guess y'all did on 508, I guess finally get them on their radar. You know, but there is something too. A bridge has to be 20 foot in length before it's considered a bridge. Otherwise, it's just a culvert.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have one now that, you know, like I say, it's over 20 and, but I've had to, they want me to replace the wood on it. And we didn't have the money to do it on that situation, so we went in and put the metal on. And tried to, and they've inspected it and we've done everything they've asked, except raise the bridge up. We don't have. I don't have them do it.
That's the only thing
I wonder how
I've
you get right there. There's 3 bridges now that you're gonna do in your precinct that, well, they built one already built.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that's the first one. Then you got this other one that, well, I don't do now, they're gonna do this.
The groundwork was already in place whenever I got there, but every year, whenever, every 2 years, when they come and inspect them. And they write you up on the things that do not, that have to be worked on.
Yeah.
I'll
I took
go ahead.
Weston on these over here and let him look at it, he said, they had no record with it.
Really, I mean, well, they've not been reporting to the right channels,
Evidently,
you know.
so I don't know. That's a question I had.
Okay,
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Thanks.
okay. Any other discussion, commissioners, on this?
I make a motion that we sign the resolution for County Road 112 at Browns Creek to be approved for TxDOT to expand their replacing of this bridge.
I'll second it. Okay, Commissioner Williams has made a motion to approve the resolution for County Road 112. Commissioner Head has seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. No, that was always a pretty scary bridge anyway. Yeah, okay. Now we're gonna back up to number 7 again. Lori, thanks for coming back up. We're talking about the vehicle registration fee, number 7. Consider an act on county vehicle registration fee for DMV. And the question was, are there any fees out there available? I thought you had told me we're at the maximum of some of those fees, because we have a choice to do option A or option B. No change, or should we make any changes at all? Have you seen this? You might come up here. That was the says imposition of optional fees for calendar year 2024.
I believe we are at the max.
Yeah,
We are at $11.50, which is the $10 road and bridge and the $1.50 child safety fund. So I think that's it.
we just want to be sure.
Yeah, that is correct. We
So-
are a max.
You're at the max, and your recommendation would be to do option A, no change, correct?
That is correct. I mean, I'm not aware of a reason to eliminate the child safety fund. I believe it makes a difference, a little difference. It's not a whole lot of money, but it matters,
Okay,
and nobody complains about it.
okay,
Yeah.
good deal. Commissioners, any other questions for Miss Lori? Lori, thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion that we approve the vehicle registration fee for DMV.
No change.
With no change, yeah, with no change, option A.
I second.
Okay, I made a motion to approve the vehicle registration fee with no change. Commissioner Wright has seconded. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor of approving the vehicle registration fee with no change, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. I will sound that later this morning or this afternoon. Moving on, number 9, consider an act on expenses for material for County Road 220 Precinct 2. Commissioner Head?
I was trying to get permission to use that 12.5 out of the road and bridge, 15,400,317 line item. For to do roughly a mile on County Road 220.
Okay,
Scott's Pit.
okay. Commissioners, any questions or comments?
How long is that road?
It's over 2 miles, but really a mile of it just what we kind of dealt with.
Or as far as it goes?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we um, allow the expenditures for material out of the road and bridge, be used on County Road 220.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Barnes made a motion to consider the funds out of the road and bridge for County Road 220. Commissioner Williams has seconded. How much?
Roughly 12. No, it's 12.5.
Okay. So a motion's been made by Commissioner Parton, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the motion for expenses for material County Road 220, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 10, consider an act on declaring 3 floodlights as scrap and 5 floodlights as salvage. Mr. Guy, you want to come up real quick? This is regarding the outside floodlights, and as Guy will about tell you, he's currently working in his spare time to do some updates on all these new LED lights versus the old halogen lights.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My goal is to have this finished up by not this week, but next week, have it all finished up, and I just need to have some good with disposition. These lights, 3 floodlights are burned out, which means you have to replace ballast and bulb, and the other 5 are still working. How long they'll work, but I need to know what y'all want me to do.
And the proposal, if we approve it, the salvageable ones, which are 5, he would take to our storage container at Mike Wright's precinct.
Yeah,
Correct?
that would be an option.
Yeah, possible option.
Do that.
And as he said, the 3 are scrap, which don't work, have no use for
No.
whatsoever.
Because they need to be completely rebuilt, and
Yeah.
the cost is more than you can go buy.
Okay,
Will the
I don't-
5 ever even be used?
Yeah, I don't personally, I don't see any use for these floodlights. They're old, they're.
It's like the wrong dumpster, but some of us still
I
have the
just-
floater.
That's,
You've got to sell that, you got to post it. But under salvage, shouldn't that be surplus then?
well,
The 5 and then sell them? That's the option.
yeah, I guess so, yeah.
I mean, what are they, 110 or 220 or?
No, they're actually 208, 400 watt.
But power short.
You can wire them anyway, the ballast in there, you can wire it whatever you want. It's a multi-task.
They might, I'd say near rid of them, whether it be their Cowboys auction, somebody might be there 100 lights, I don't know. I wouldn't clog the sea container up with something,
Yeah,
we know we're not gonna use.
Unless y'all want
I don't need them.
I just
them.
need.
You want a floodlight? Mike, no,
Well, sure. I don't even,
We're gonna
unless
take.
we put a flag up and light it.
Yeah.
No, I-
lit up flag.
Get rid of it,
So-
never use, boy.
So no commissioners needing floodlights at your precinct, Barnes?
No.
Okay, scrap.
Well, I make a motion that we declare 3 floodlights as scrap to be thrown away and 5 floodlights as surplus to be sold at auction.
Okay,
Does it need to be cowboy auction, Sonia? You want that
On my phone,
at Live Oak auction?
okay, Commissioner Williams has made a motion to declare 3 floodlights as scrap, 5 floodlights as surplus instead of salvage to be sold at the next Cowboy Love
Well, it
sale.
won't be the next.
No, because you gotta write a newspaper for.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It'll be the one whenever it happens in a few months. Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams.
I think that's a lot of options, like I would.
Yeah.
One second.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion or comments? All those in favor of approving the floodlights as scrap and the other 5 as surplus, say aye. Aye. Any against? Ayes have it. Now, Mr. Johnson, you're finally coming up, bud. Consider an act on courthouse entrance door replacements. I'll prep this a little bit. Myself and Guy Burns, we spent a lot of hours contacting people, visiting people, searching doors. other courthouses, et cetera, et cetera. We've had two extremely high bids, offers for these doors. We reached out to Mr. Johnson. He spent a lot of time and work getting us a quote. The quote is in y'all's package, commissioners. You'll see it's for $34,000 roughly and some change. This would be for the 4 doors, 2 sets of doors on the north, south, east, and west entrance, plus all the hardware that's associated with it, plus new kick plates just on the interior. We're not going to have a boot where water seeps down in it and rot seeps out the bottom. Jimmy, go ahead. Tell me what I've left out.
Well, I'm just gonna start with the first, research for the types of woods that are available. And I said, look, I'm taking care of my county. So I know there's some way expensive stuff. And so they got us the, folks on the maple and the mahogany, they're the same price. I recommended the maple because it is a hardwood wood. And, longevity, that's what I'm concerned about. Measure the doors. The doors will be measured exactly, will be built exactly like what you have. Your styles, the rail will be the same widths. It will come with a slightly tinted tempered glass. I supplied a guy with pictures of antique hardware that have you run that by and that's improved.
We're doing it right now.
Oh, I mean, hardware, the mission.
Once it's approved here, I'll send it.
Okay. That's almost identical to what you've got. What you need is the ball pin hinges, forward to the door. New thresholds, bronze thresholds, and kick plates. We are going to reuse 3 of the existing closers on the inactive doors. We're missing 1, guy said, so I figured it in the proposal. We will install 5 new ones, 4 new ones on the active doors. And we will replace the one that's missing on one of the inactive doors. All staying with the bronze finish. So lead time, if we can get our door ordered in before the end of this week, they have said 5 weeks. I've learned in this business 6 weeks.
Or 7.
And then once we get the doors in our possession, of course, we will know when they're coming, so we can call y'all ahead of time. I've got the crews scheduled that can install. I've allowed 4 days installation, 1 set per day. It's possible that may be too much time, but we'll see. I don't want them in a rush. Because I told the guys, and I'll tell them again in our pre-job meeting, that I want to do my county prayer. Take a little special interest because it is a local endeavor. That's roughly.
Well, Jimmy, we appreciate you looking after us. And one thing I'll add, those closures you're talking about, those things are very expensive, 850,
Yes.
850.
Yes, guy, don't turn loose of your old rules and parts, and which make they are in the process. Living.
Yeah.
Making those type
Yeah.
of. So type of. How does this work with security? I mean, how's this gonna, when we change and doing reworking the doors and all that, how are we gonna work around the security part of it?
We're gonna do it on the weekend, correct? As far as when the
You gonna
doors,
take them down or? Yes, we will bring the doors. Do one door at a time, or are you gonna?
On the entrance.
You'll have to take a pair down at a time. Right, that's what I meant, yeah. So,
But they'll take them down and put them up the same day.
correct. They will not close the business, there'll be no open holes. Gotcha.
That's right. You've allowed 4 days, kind of 1 day for each
Yes,
entrance, yeah.
and so we're not gonna keep, it's gonna be all new glass completely. Correct. And I had thought about, and Guy mentioned it here, that y'all didn't mention. I thought about trying to salvage the old glass.
But that means we've got 4 openings that I have to have glass and it takes them 3 weeks minimum to process the doors. I didn't see how that was feasible.
Yeah, we
As
don't,
much as I wanted to keep as much old as we could, I just didn't think that was an option.
Well, they're really not old glass, they're new glass from 2010. I don't think they're old, the original glass, because the original specs only had a half a glass. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't a full length.
and Guy, what's our plans for the old doors? I mean, we're just gonna keep them in storage just in case or something, or?
Yeah, that's, my suggestion would be, since, these doors have, it's the same glass, it's the safety glass that's specified. I would hold on
Yeah.
just to have pieces of glass in case one of these busts, and we've got one.
Sure.
It's an exact fit, correct? And then the only other expense we're gonna have is, these doors will be raw, so I'll have to paint this.
So Guy's gonna paint them once they're put in?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
I will paint the doors.
Well, Robert's wanting to help you, looks like.
No, I was,
Before, right?
yeah, I mean,
We're gonna make up for the line.
I was gonna ask if he's gonna get custom painting, to give a quote. I don't
Okay.
know, Providence.
Okay, commissioners, what questions you have for Mr. Guy or Mr. Johnson here?
I don't I think it's wonderful. I don't see any problems with it. We just need to make sure that everything's good with the security and historical commission.
Yeah, I'll make arrangements for security. And
So before he goes out and spends his money is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
To get these doors, because you don't want to order them and.
So
Well,
my question is not security, like doing this and that, but we have a courthouse security meeting that we were discussing the Texas Ranger plan on our doors. And our entrances and exits. And
well,
if-
and so there's a grant also out there that's available, but it's, I don't know what that grant's. Again, you're gonna go through this process. So if y'all remember, last Commissioners Court, Sam told us that there was a grant that we could go back and ask for courthouse funds. You know, they gave us $6 million to do the building.
Uh-huh.
And they upped that money, and so we could go back and ask for more money. But that's when we thought it was gonna be $100,000 to fix the doors. We do have a security issue right now, not getting in and out. But is that a security issue, or did it help the security?
Okay, I'll pursue that. Remind me maybe tomorrow. I'll look into that grant process if there is something available for the doors. That's through the Texas Historical Commission, or where was that?
I don't know, that's, Sam was the one that told us to just.
Yeah, I remember Sam mentioned that to us.
That's it, legislator.
You may be as deep in them as what you want to be,
That's true.
you know, because we're already hung with having to do what they say nonstop because of the money that's been used through the county up there.
My question is, where are you planning on meeting expense?
Yeah, that was just be my.
Or the next question.
Is there anything in the security deal?
There's 35,000, but that was supposed to go towards camera prep. There's $38,000 in building improvement and maintenance, but that's if you don't need it to finish the project out there. It's just. That's something that should be decided before you come here. Not putting you on the spot. I'm not.
Sure, I agree.
Deciding factor.
Sure.
Yeah, I just don't know if we approve this today, where the money will come from. I mean, unless y'all got someplace, unless y'all just want to take it out of one of these line items. And do it.
We need it for. Any pre-work for cameras, the well and spin it out with security.
I don't see if I can get the camera started for this year.
I don't know. I think we need to move on it pretty fast. Folks, I mean, it is somewhat of a security issue. Is my recommendation.
I'm just scared one of them will fall out.
Well, then it becomes a liability problem. Yeah.
Yeah. I really think we need to move as soon as we can, once we figure out where the funds are coming from.
There.
I don't like to say it.
Well, I've got the 2 entrances closed now, so they're not, the doors are not gonna fall off hinges, as long as they're not
being open.
You know,
And then stand back up, scroll back in.
Well, I think the question we got to solve first, like Ms. Camo said, is where's the funds gonna come from? Gentlemen, so
I would think it's,
Yeah.
personally, I think it's a security deal. One way or the other.
It's security, and like I said, I don't think we're gonna be moving on the camera, security cameras anyway, right now.
I consider those very issue.
So that's under the security fund, correct?
and there was enough money there, sir.
There's 35,000.
That's what I'm looking at.
Okay. All right.
That pays for the doors, good, that's security.
Just very.
Just barely.
Yeah.
I understand.
And you know, there's always unforeseen gifts there. Yes.
Okay, any more discussion, commissioners?
The only thing I would like to offer is that if the court does approve this, then an SAL permit will have to be filled out, which the judge signs. And Jackie and I can get all the information together on that, with Jim's help, and my understanding is that it's approved 24, 48 hours.
Okay.
So the only stipulation that Eva Osborne put on was that you replace the doors exactly, the dimensions exactly as they are. So that shouldn't be an issue.
And last Monday, I did bring this up to the Mills County Historical Commission to tell them what we're doing, and they're all in favor of it.
And so if we approve this today, improve the amount, improve the line item, a lot of yes. And it's 6 weeks out. That's going to put it right at the end
Next
of
budget
this.
cycle.
Yeah, but we're trying to do it this
Yeah, I know,
budget
I know.
cycle, so.
Okay, that's gonna be my next
Yeah.
question.
But
Is
it's,
this, are we trying to get this in this year's budget?
You can pay this invoice by September 18th,
yeah.
Yeah. I would-
So if,
no later than September 18th, you can't do that.
can we prepay it? And then if he doesn't get, because what I'm saying is if it's gonna be 6 to 7 weeks before the doors get here, he may need to be before the bill gets, you see what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
Robert?
Yeah,
You're in construction,
I don't have a problem prepaying it, then I'll go ahead and.
Yeah.
And on our, what we have here on our invoice,
yeah,
and do it out of security fund.
nothing ever comes in when it's supposed to, I can promise you that. Well,
That's a decision the court has to do. So I
Yeah.
can't make that.
yeah, I understand, I'm just trying to figure out if we're gonna get it done in this budget,
Well,
we're gonna be pushing the timeline.
I agree.
And I don't have the budget in next year.
Yeah, we don't have a budget in the next
So
year.
you can tell them to have a voice to me by the 8th.
Yeah.
We pay it the 14th. So that's what y'all say too, that's what I have to do.
Okay,
I wouldn't exactly prepay it right now and.
Yeah.
at the latest.
Wait till September, whatever, he can order it and he can say, okay, this is gonna be on this date and all that other stuff.
As long as we refer the court, like
Yeah.
I said,
Agreed.
it's be paid.
okay. Any questions or discussion? Do you hear a motion from anybody?
We do have the money in security,
Yes,
that covers it. So, no problem.
okay,
I'll make a motion that we go with this bid and pay it out of the cameras, out of the security, courthouse security
Equipment.
funds, line item, whatever it is.
okay,
It's $34,354.
okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Head to approve the courthouse door replacements, a bid of $34,354.
And I'll second it.
Commissioner Ryan has made a second on that. Any other questions or discussion, commissioners? All those in favor of approving the new courthouse door, entrance door replacement, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? None opposed. Courthouse,
Down to the ballpark to get the paperwork done and stuff, so.
courthouse doors are approved. Jimmy, what we'll do, Guy and I will get together with the permit we need to go to Austin. And hopefully, Guy said in what, a couple of days, we should have that hopefully approved. And then we can tell Jimmy to get them ordered, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
But I won't afford it
yeah,
until you're.
yeah, wait till we get the permit from the state. Yeah, and that should be hopefully, like Guy said, in a couple of days.
What you need from me. Okay, everything.
I'll give you a-
Okay.
And Jimmy, thank you for looking after Mills County. We appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate it. Look forward to seeing the new doors.
Chance.
Right.
I have to be.
Yeah, go ahead, Summer. No, I don't think so. I think we can get this.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you,
We
Summer.
don't know.
Moving on to number 12, consider an act on new EMS building. Mr. Guy Burns, please come up here and give us, and also via Zoom, we have Mr. Terrell Harris of Basic IDIQ. Hello, Terrell. Good morning.
Good morning.
Go ahead, Guy.
Just quickly, the electrical is completed. The HVAC is completed, the fiber is completed, the plumbing is completed, except for, we have to relocate an RPC valve in the visor. Not gonna work where it's at. The parking blocks have been installed. The striping is gonna be reworked to, it was white, you're gonna go with yellow, because you can't do the white. No,
It's in what?
into the white. And, we still need to put the bumper posts up in front of the bay doors, which the county is gonna do that, as I understand. And we need to talk about the landscaping, cleaning up. Because that's gonna be on the county. So, have to figure that out. There was some issues with the concrete floor. And, Terrell, sent this guy out who poured those things, Howdy, who did the concrete pour. It turns out that they, did not have the correct, sealer. So he came back, sealed the spot. It looks like it's supposed to. That people look at it everywhere from summer to
Buster Taylor came out.
Buster Taylor came out, so the finished look, that the finished product on that sample they did in the 9/11 closet, that is what was described in the job scope, so.
And are they gonna take the trial marks and stuff out before they do that, or are they just gonna seal it?
No, it's gonna be clean, sanded, Cheryl, you wanna take that part of it?
Yes, we're gonna have, the floor's gonna start being sanded tomorrow. I'll take the top coat with calcium buildup off, and then we have a crew coming in Wednesday and Thursday. They will buff the floor and then install the sealer.
Here, one question I had, this is a jet, if you're sanding, we got everything painted, is it gonna cause much dust everywhere? How does that work?
We'll have a little bit of dust. We have a cleanup crew coming in. Once everything's done, we'll come in and dust everything, wipe everything down. It'll all be cleaned up.
Okay, did y'all hear that? I'm having a little trouble hearing everything. Did y'all hear that? Okay, okay.
The other issue, two other issues, the insulation in the bay areas. The solution Carol came up with is, where there's damaged insulation, they're gonna come in and re-top like a 1 inch all the way across the whole section, so it doesn't look patched. There'll be a whole section will be repaired, replaced, for, I guess, resprayed would be the term. There's several areas in there, which includes over the top of those bay doors. So that's gonna get reworked and re-insulated. And then, Cheryl, did you find out on the bay doors, where we're at on that, how far out they are? Last we talked, it was 4 to 6 weeks. That was 2 weeks ago.
Spoke with the manufacturer on Friday. He's gonna give me an update today. I have not heard back from him yet. As soon as I do, I'll get with you guys, and let you know.
So once the floors are finished, then the next step would be to get the appliances in, and then the interior will be completed with the exception of the bedroom.
Appliances consist of refrigerator, washer, dryer,
Appliances.
stove.
Not a washer and dryer, it'll consist of a refrigerator with an ice maker, a stove, a microwave with a vent hood, and a dishwasher.
Okay,
The washer and dryer, I've already talked to, Dana, Allison, they're gonna supply their own washer and dryer
okay,
and all of that, so,
good.
that's where we're at on that.
Terry, any other comments?
No, sir.
Did I miss anything?
No, sir. Covered it all.
Commissioners, any other questions for Terrell or Gal on the EMS building right now?
No, I've got a phone call that's supposed to return me back this afternoon on some piping for those bumpers that we can weld up, and those bumper posts and fill them up with cement and stuff like that.
It would be good to use drill stem on. Because it's gonna be a quarter inch thick.
Yeah. We'll see if I can get, I'll see what,
Okay,
Somebody should have it. 4 inch drill stem, 5 inch drill stem.
That'll work.
somebody better than me might have to weld
I can't help you there.
it.
Good thing Dale went to Walden.
Yeah,
Welding.
Went to Walden.
Get sand bale, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
okay,
That's all I was gonna mention on that.
okay, nothing else, commissioners on the new EMS building?
The only thing I just wanted to add on that is that we kind of talked about it a while back. I was just gonna see, this has to do with the EMS, but also the material that TxDOT gave us that is out there on Highway 16. It was originally talked about covering that road, retopping that road from the law enforcement center to the entrance of the EMS building. Do we still want to do that?
Why not?
Okay, so that before we use, I'm agreeing with Mike, 100%. But before we use it on our county roads, I think we need to get that done. But that way we can go and use
I
it for
agree.
other purposes.
That's good.
Explain what's fixing to take place on the material out. I'm talking with Russ. Carlos called me, asked if the county could come out and stockpile that. If they would stockpile it, he could measure it and give it to us.
And that's weird because I can measure it right now and tell you how much is there.
But
I mean-
it's not us doing it.
Yeah.
It's TxDOT.
I know, but I'm just saying,
And I took
TxDOT's
my-
using
I took my-
our equipment and our labor to do their job, so.
So I took my track loader out because he had nothing available and it's sitting out there. We hadn't done anything. I'm gonna send them out to go ahead and pilot so they can measure it, TxDOT.
Why,
Once it-
yeah, why they can't measure square yardage
I guess not.
with it unless
You
it's
can
down.
argue TxDOT, I'm not. They just asked if we would stockpile where they could measure it. And they would give it to us immediately.
But I imagine the reason they have to measure it, is they will have to bill us for that.
Why would they build us?
They have to.
Yeah,
Well,
It's
it's taxpayers, it's just like us on certain, on scrap and surplus, it's.
you can
taxpayer.
call us and talk to them. No, is it,
Well, my thing is, it's just for the EMS, since we're on the EMS issue, I think that
we can't touch anything.
once we get it though, I think before we go to our county roads or wherever, our yards or wherever, I think we ought to do this first.
Well, as long as you approve with the city, because that's a city street, I guess.
No, it's not.
They had accepted it.
No, they won't accept it, is what Rob Lindsay said.
Okay.
Okay,
Can you state for me again what you're using that material for?
To top the Justice Lane that's a public sideway.
And that goes all the way back to the sewer.
No, just to the EMS building.
But from the law enforcement to the EMS building?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I mean. Thank you.
okay. Any other questions on, or comments on the new EMS building?
No.
Okay. We'll move on to number 13, consider an act on basic IDIQ draw. Terrell, I guess you're still here with us. That amount was gonna be one of the last draws. My understanding, on any kind of construction jobs I've ever been associated with, you usually take the last payment when everything's finished. Still there, Terrell?
Yes, I am. I'll have to go back and look. This shouldn't be our last draw. I'll double check that for
Was
you.
not, okay, I thought this was gonna be one of the more last draws here. And was it 20, tell us the amount again for the Commissioner's Court.
Apologize, I don't have that in front of me, Judge, right now.
I won't say it's $25,000 or $30,000, Commissioner Williams, do you remember?
No, I've never seen.
Guy, do you remember? You might come up here again, Guy, what was the?
Yeah, it was,
I've never seen the request.
It's 26,000.
23,000, maybe 24,000. And that left the balance of like 6,000 and change
Okay,
was,
Oh, after the last draw, there's 6,000 left.
6,000 and change.
okay.
But there's gonna be some credits on some of that, right?
Carol, did you hear that from Commissioner Parton?
I'm sorry, no,
There's gonna be some credit back on that because two of the doors you did not, we elected not to put automatic door closers. There was something else that you had that we didn't do the other day. wasn't
there's
it?
gonna be several both ways, yes. I need to sit down with Guy this week and go through them.
I agree with the judge right now. I think we hold off on that last draw until we
Yes.
get final figures.
Yeah, Terrell, if you heard that, yeah, Commissioner Williams recommended, and we'll, I guess we'll take a vote on that here in a second. Go ahead, Commissioner Head.
I thought the last draw was 6,000, this draw is 23,000.
So he's wanting a draw of
Yeah.
26,000, which will leave 6,000 and some change left.
Why can it not all be done as a final draw?
But I mean,
Yeah, there was, because there was some items like the two door openers, the transfer switch,
well, there might be some costs and some of this other stuff with
Yeah.
flooring and all this other stuff, but I want to make sure that we're
Covered, I agree.
covered. That's just me. I agree with you, Jeff.
I'd rather finish it and have a final payment.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Commissioner Williams will make a motion or anything on that, or?
Anybody, y'all two have anything? No?
All my years, my last payment was the day I was leaving the job site, so. But yeah.
I think, my understanding is usually standard is like 10%. You hold back for the punch list, make sure the punch list gets completed and all, so 10% would be $80-something thousand. So if it's $30,000.
Yeah, we're way under that. Yeah, about 4%, 3 or 4%, yeah. So.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we do not give the $26,000 request draw at this time.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams not to do the draw right now for basic IDIQ. Second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion or comments? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. And Terrell, thank you, but we'll keep being in touch with you. We'll keep working on all this, okay? Thanks for listening in today. Moving on, number 14, Commissioners' requests and reports. Commissioner Wright. Go ahead.
Cutting brush on County Road 305, we've been hauling material to the pit of the authorities. We've had to work on the mic and the KJ, we did some repairs on it. And you heard my comments on Carter Reyes, the text dot, and we do have my equipment out there, and I'm gonna pilot for them. I mean, that's what they've asked me to do in order for them to release it to them. If they want me to do it, I will. I sent them out to do it this morning. So that's all I have.
Okay, Commissioner Head.
We worked on County Road 224, retopped it, put 10 horns in, retopped it. Last week we did some, had to work on some equipment. And try to kind of clean it up and get some, do little repairs. We had to work on, we had a kind of a sinkhole on one of the county roads at Dottie House. And we could get it fixed.
Imagine out there by the tiny house.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, we've been trying to move forward with all the heat and stuff. And
Is that it?
about it.
Okay, Commissioner Barton?
We are clearing a pretty major fence row over by the Lime Lake and Cemetery at Freddie. Probably be there, was there most of last week, probably be there part of this week, and probably gonna try to set up another hauling spree, hopefully I'll fill them out a little bit and try to get some more, a little more territory covered on 549, and I guess the other thing is, yeah, my picture took the other day.
Several times.
Fell in pothole and it went.
The World Wide Web.
I had absolutely nothing to do with it. I was just trying to fill a pothole. So,
Take control of that kingdom.
yeah, don't fill the pothole. You sure can.
But you're doing a good job, Commissioner Barton. Thank you for your service. All right, anything else? Is that it? Commissioner Williams?
Been working on County Road 530 and 531, been hauling material to both of those. Had several meetings last week, the Child Welfare Board, both local and state meetings in Austin. Also let you know that we're working on, as we've gotten some years in the past, the TAC management pool, employee safety equipment program. This year we got $721. This is, we bought first aid kits, fire extinguishers, boot, jackets last year, vests. We bought some stuff for the courthouse before. We bought some combs and stuff. It's not a lot of money. Some of the stuff that we really need, there's not enough money there to get. But one thing I did add this year from the request of all the commissioners across the state for TAC is boots. So there is a line item for boots for road hands. That if y'all are interested, y'all see me after court and we'll see they're about $125 a boot. So if we did them, or $130, if you did them, you probably couldn't, we'd either have to do like 2 precincts this year and 2 precincts next year or whatever, or you do just 1 employee or whatever. But I think if we do 1, we gotta do most of them, you know, like, that's just my opinion, but. If y'all have any ideas of something y'all might need in this safety stuff, holler at me. Jackie would like me to get this done pretty quick because she's kind of in charge of it. Victor Uvalde,
yeah.
TAC was here last week and went over some of this stuff with Jackie and myself, and to get some of this stuff bought. Again, we bought, you know, those gloves that I gave the guys. Some of them weren't that great, the neon on the back. I wasn't a big fan of those, but there's some of that stuff in there. I don't know if y'all might need first aid kits in your vehicles. That's always a good thing. I really thought we needed one of those machines in the courthouse that does life-saving defibrillator type thing, but those things are way up there, so we'd have to come up with money out of our pocket to get that. But anyway, that might be something to talk about. Y'all start to see me after court over that, if y'all have any recommendations. And that's it on my end, Judge.
Okay, county judge's report, budget process, as you know, has been going on for a good bit today. We've got more coming up. Special thanks again to Summer for all her work. Former Judge Ed Smith for all your consultation. Thank you, Ed. We appreciate it. Helping the county out. Charles Miles. We all need, as we all know, pray for rain. We're in extreme fire danger. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. So stress everybody, be careful driving around the pastures with 4-wheelers, Polaris Rangers, pickups. It's gonna be real easy to start fires. And that is all I've got. Number 16 is adjournment.
Make motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of adjourning say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned.